From Chicago to Boston, Midwest to the East Coast, and this island in the Caribbean known as Puerto Rico is why the bars are lethal. Got me going beast mode in this game called life. You better know some cheat codes. Il Divino's back, someone let the streets know. 6 shots for the folks and 5 shots for my peoples. I think it's high time we all have a sit down. Can we all agree the game is gone to shit now? Like the fall of Rome, the death of Romulus, history repeating itself if you know it's obvious. If you had your head inside of a book instead of binoculars, you'd be able to see without a pair of binoculars. Our tax dollars being spent towards the damn omnibus, where the rich stay rich, commoners remain commoners. The tentacles and everything like a damn octopus. Mass media, mass hysteria, how they control the populace. Cash rules everything around me, and on every dollar bill it's printed in God we trust. Yeah, everyone lives in fear around me. The truth will set you free. Quick shout out to Elon Musk. Cash rules everything around me, and on every dollar bill it's printed in God we trust. Yeah, everyone lives in fear around me. The truth will set you free. Quick shout out to Elon Musk. Living in this shy, can't let them catch me snoozing. Dudes be shooting just for the amusement. I refuse to be a victim, never be a loser. When your city is a war zone, who gives a fuck about Putin? There ain't nothing safe about the Safety Act. There's more safety in being strapped. If you choose, you shoot back. Those odds are better than getting caught laying on your back. Don't believe me, check the stats. I'm just bringing you the facts. With my hand on the Bible, I swear to rap the truth. Almighty God, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. My people perish for lack of knowledge. My knowledge I share with you. There's nothing we can't accomplish. One head ain't better than two. That's the purpose of a democratic republic. Discussion on every subject. In truth, logic, and reason. Till we reach an agreement. A nation under God is how the states united. Got out of the picture, look how gradually we divided. Cash rules everything around me, and on every dollar bill it's printed in God we trust. Yeah, everyone lives in fear around me. The truth will set you free. Quick shout out to Elon Musk. Cash rules everything around me, and on every dollar bill it's printed in God we trust. Yeah, everyone lives in fear around me. The truth will set you free. Quick shout out to Elon Musk.
Arrogance is the primary ingredient that will make you assume you can take action without God. Arrogance. That's actually what it is. You think you got this and you know more than God. That's why your drift turns into a drum.
Thank God for this day. Hey, you're not promised tomorrow. Realize your life is borrowed, so say what you gotta say. Hey, get it all off your chest. Nothing more, nothing less. Isn't that what Twitter's for? Clout. And all these other platforms. Followers who has more. You have found your reward. Matter of fact, engage some more, and for sure you'll find yourself in these social media wars. Oh Lord, let's talk about it. You be about it, I be about it. So relying on social media, how would you be without it? Non-existent, your entire system would just be a flop. If you don't listen and got no vision, how could you reach the top? Twitter fingers like a ninja, stay mass, move fast, you would know who hit ya. Cut you and split ya, causing division, moving on in you like a temporal pincer. Trying to paint the perfect picture, write lyrics like the holy scriptures. Even profound, you're feeling me now. After hearing the sound, you're hearing me now. Coming for the facts, now losing track, got me thinking that this couldn't be more crazy. If I take it back to the very act, you were talking smack when you actually thought you played me. Tell me who's true, there's only a few. Keep me in tune while seeking the truth. Salute to the crew, I'm paying my dues. Be sure to give credit where credit is due. Thank God for this day. Hey, you're not promised tomorrow. Realize your life is borrowed, so say what you gotta say. Hey, get it all off your chest. Nothing more, nothing less. Isn't that what Twitter's for? Clout. And all these other platforms. Followers who has more. You have found your reward. Matter of fact, engage some more, and for sure you'll find yourself in these social media wars. Oh Lord.
Media is just like syphilis, wholesome wickedness, tearing folks down who bore witness to the passions of the movies that they love, to the director who rose up above, the hatred, the jealousy of those who was friendly, who turned into some of the worst of our enemies. A disgrace when your smiles in our face, doing that for only the clout that you chase. It's too late. Fruit of your labor was laced with a poison that most of you clowns couldn't taste. We know who you are, so fake the funk if you want. Make all your videos, cause we know you're a chump. You tried to divide, but we was wise to your lies. We testify that you were snakes in disguise. And don't depend on those little simps on your side. They only live off the drama you provide.
Thank God for this day. Hey, you're not promised tomorrow. Realize your life is borrowed, so say what you gotta say. Hey, get it all off your chest. Nothing more, nothing less. Isn't that what Twitter's for? Clout. And all these other platforms. Followers who has more. You have found your reward. Matter of fact, engage some more, and for sure you'll find yourself in these social media wars. Who would've thought there'd ever be a Muslim-Christian connection? Welcome to America, this ain't the kingdom of heaven. Two brethren with reverence to the Most High, keeping them strengthened. Counting our blessings in a time where there's division and tension. From the streets to these tweets, the people keep on wildin'. Violence keeps on rising in every single environment. So I pray for God's love to pour out and assalamu alaikum. But take my kindness for weakness, then you're sadly mistaken. I'm just like David, fighting off wars, bears.
We going up, shit going down. We lighting them up, you best hit the ground. Shooting them up, one after round. When there's blood in the air, you better not dare to come around town. Father, please forgive me, have mercy on my soul. Fools keep trying to test me and I will never fold. It's the way that Wendy raised me, the city of the gold. Load them up and let them go, load them up and let them go, load them up and let them fly.
Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. You know what it is. This is the Chop Shop. This is your boy, El Camino Vega. And man, oh man, is there much to talk about. I'm excited. I'm excited because there's actually a lot of good news. I mean, I guess depending two things, depending, I guess, the source of your news, and two, where you stand on the news, I guess, right? So that'll probably determine whether or not you think this is good news or not, all right? Whew. All right. You know, I can keep listening to that all day. Let's go ahead and go into the comment section. We got pins on. We got the pin zone in the comment section. Let's go. Yo, shout out, my brother. Appreciate you hopping through. Yo. We got Mr. J in the comment section. What up, dog? You already know what it is. You already know what we're going to talk about. Or at least we're fun to get there. We're fun to get there. Not just yet, but we're fun to get there. We got great creators also in the comment section. Yo. What it do? That's the homie right there. That's the brother. Low key, if you need any kind of like videography work, hit him up. Listen up, guys. There's a lot to discuss, and I'm going to try and keep this one short. I got things to do, but I just couldn't wait to discuss these things. I couldn't wait to chop it up with you guys about these topics. So much. I mean, we just live in an age and an era, I guess, where just information just flows rapidly. And it's like really hard to keep up with everything. But where things stood today, I thought was a good point to like, all right, let me just jump in because a lot has happened since the last time I went live, which was last Friday. And low key, I'm just picking up where we left off, technically, right? The last topics, it was money talk. That's why it's money talk part 2. We were talking Chicago Bears Stadium, where things stood at the time. We were talking Warner Brothers bid, where that stood at the time. And what else did we talk? I think we talked a little bit of. We talked a little bit about the Supreme Court ruling on the tariffs. I'm not so sure if we're gonna have time for that continuation. Although I do want to continue. There's much to discuss in the politic realm of things for sure, specifically regarding money talk. But something just technically dropped in our laps yesterday, but I didn't get to fully see the entirety of it today. And so that's going to be probably the meat of this entree of a discussion we have today, But I'm going to go ahead. Oh, and also I do have a guest hopping on, giving him a time to do his thing. But he will be hopping on shortly. I'll leave that as a surprise. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to probably start with the first thing that we started with last time. And if my memory serves me correct, hold on, give me a second. I'm looking it up right now. Just to make sure this is what it is. Okay. Hold on, let me write this down. All right, boom. So, okay, first things first, let's go ahead and we are going to touch on this bad boy right here. See if I can bring it up so you guys can see it. He said, "Did a company get sold or something?" I mean, hey, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Hold on, y'all in the comment section or the comment section already going in. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, ladies and gentlemen. We are gonna get there, no doubt, no doubt about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and just start with the first things first. Uh, look, I'm from Chicago. Chicago. So that's what we're going to talk about first. All right. Chicago Bears Stadium, where things stand with that. I mean, look, here's the reality. It's years, we're years from that actually taking place, depending on certain things. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can bring up the article here. All right, hold on, guys. Give me a second. Boom. Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, here we go. All right, so this is where I'm just gonna bring it up, but I got my own notes. Just kind of like for you guys can get a slight image of it. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see it too well. Yeah, okay, no, there you go. Boom. So as of right now, where things stand with the whole stadium move. Let's see. We got more people in the comments. Oh, we got the homie Marcus in the comment section. Gotta head to work, but I came to show some love. Hey, appreciate you stopping by, brother. I mean, if you could even listen in, you know what we're going to talk about. You know we're going to talk about. We're going to get there. But hey, be safe on your travels to work. Have a good time at work if you can. But we're here, dog. We are here. But anyways, so as far as the latest on the Chicago Bears Stadium, right? We essentially last left off where Indiana was coming strong, right? With passing pretty much a bill there in their government to make an appealing offer to the Bears to come over there. And that's where it last stood, right? Where they essentially became like the co-front runners, right? And the reason why it was always a co-front runner, not the front runner, even though they probably, again, were coming with a strong offer, but it's just that the reality is the Bears already own this property in Arlington Heights. So there was no way that they were just okay with letting that go. I think what happened here, and it was in this, I saw someone commented this, and I think in one of my TikTok videos, and it's that the Indiana play here, I think the Chicago Bears were entertaining it to have leverage. And it worked because apparently it put a fire under the Illinois governing body it lit a fire under their ass to the point where they decided to then come with their own bill, right? So it's in Illinois, the key piece is a new mega project / pilot bill. These are side notes. I'm not reading off of the article. It's just so you guys can have kind of a visual to where you can also find the article. But a bill that's designed to give the Bears a long-term property tax predictability and help with infrastructure for an Arlington Heights Dome Stadium on the old Arlington Park site that the team owns. A House committee has advanced that mega project bill, sometimes referenced alongside HB 2789 and other measures, but the full House adjourned until mid-March without voting on it. So nothing is finalized yet. Illinois talks center on a package where the Bears invest around $2 billion, seek $300 million from the NFL, and look for roughly $900 million in state support, plus hundreds of millions more in stadium-related infrastructure, all of which still needs legislative sign-off. So again, nothing is set in stone just yet, right? But the reality is this made a big difference. And I'm almost certain now this is where the Bears are leaning. But again, the legislation still has to get passed. It still has to get voted on. But it's at the very least, it's now pushed. It was pushed in the Illinois house of whatever they call it. You know, it's kind of evading me right now. Uh, but that's where things stand right now. Again, for Indiana, they're still where they're at. You know, their General Assembly has now fully passed. Actually, no, they have fully passed it, right? So actually, where it stood is that Indiana was also pushing a bill. Apparently, it passed. They passed a Senate Bill 27, and Governor Mike Braun has signed it. So it's actually kind of official on their end already, creating a Northwest Indiana Stadium Authority and a clear funding framework for a dome stadium near Wolf Lake and Hammond. The law authorizes roughly $1 billion in public support, bonds backed by an admissions tax, food and beverage taxes, innkeeper's tax, and a special sports development district, with the Bears expected to put in more than $2 billion of their own money and sign a 35-year lease. With this bill signed, Indiana is now shovel ready on the public side. The Bears still have to finish site due diligence and negotiate final terms, but the legal and funding framework is in place. So again, Indiana's ahead as far as like structure and framework, and I guess you could say officiality. You know what I'm saying? Where on the Chicago or Illinois side of things, not even Chicago, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of losers, honestly, in governing Chicago. But you know, just greedy, really greed is what it is. Okay, we got the homie Princess Truck. I gotta shout him out. Chop Shop Vega, you already know what it is, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. You know, salute to you, brother. Mr. J says, I can't see the Bears moving away. I mean, look, man, I can't either, but nothing's set in stone at this moment. But if we're gonna be honest, it's not. Yeah, I don't see the move. They're not. I'll put it like this. I think the Arlington Heights is the more stronger position they want to be in and what they're looking forward to get into. But it's not like it's the, how do you say? I don't think it's the like. There's still things that just have to go forward for that to actually still take place, pretty much, right? Where, like I said, Indiana here is already, their things are finalized. Their bill passed. It's set in stone. It's now just on the Bears, waiting to see what the Bears say, which again it's good that they're doing that. Whether they're serious or not, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're serious, right? It would be a move for them to get the Bears to move to Hammond, right? That would be a crazy move. And again, like I said in the last episode, look, Hammond awkwardly is a Chicagoland footing area, right? So like you go to Hammond, Indiana, East Chicago, Indiana, and so like think about that. It's called East Chicago, but it's in Indiana. But like all those kind of like towns and cities that that are in the border, of Illinois, but are in Indiana, like they're kind of still considered Chicagoland, So it isn't too crazy, I guess, but still, yeah, it's still weird, right? Like the Bears going to Indiana, but that's how that is. But again, Chicago wants Arlington. They initially wanted, and I said this in the last episode, they initially wanted the Chicago Museum District to be the place where they rebuild, but it was too much money, and the city wasn't willing to like do anything on their part, just being bums about it, and so they weren't able to get city funding or state funding for it, and it would have been a lot more money than what can it possibly happen now here in Arlington Heights, which obviously you saw me talk the numbers. It's still a lot of money, but believe me when I say that Chicago Museum District would have been a whole lot more money. Okay, hold on. First, we got a House of Tradies. Yeah, pretty much. Man, so it's getting closer and closer to the Bears moving to Indy, huh? Sheesh. I mean, like I said, Indiana's serious about it. Like I said, they finalized their deal. They finalized their bill so everything's already in motion, ready for the Bears to move in. All it takes, like I said, the Bears is to go over there, look at the property, whatever, all that, finalize the deal on their end, and it would happen. And boom, it'll happen. And then at that point, it would be 2033. We got the Pinzo saying, "I'm digging the new look on the chop shop." Hey, appreciate you, bro. I'm trying to do some things, man. We trying to we're trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so the reality is I think the Chicago Bears would prefer Arlington Heights. And like I said, it's them entertaining the Indiana deal, I believe gave them the leverage that that put, like I said, that fire under the ass of the Illinois lawmakers. You know what I'm saying? And now here we are where, you know, there's finally a bill being pushed um, on the Illinois side of things, right? So, but you know what? Let's break that down a bit, right? So we have an understanding of what the Indiana bill looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and break down what this bill on the Chicago or Illinois side looks like, right? So remember the bill's HB 2789. You can look it up. It's is a mega project / pilot bill that mainly creates a special property tax and financing framework that the Bears can use for an Arlington Heights Dome Stadium and related development. Core tax and pilot structure would be it creates a mega project property category in the property tax code for projects over a high dollar threshold, roughly in the 500 million plus range, which is tailored to cover a Bears stadium project. Allows such certified mega projects to get an assessment freeze for up to about 40 years, meaning the taxable value used for regular property tax bills is locked instead of rising with improvements. It replaces normal property tax payments with payments in lieu of taxes negotiated between the project's owner, e.g., the Bears, and a board representing local taxing bodies like school districts, etc. Lets the local review board agree on how much the team pays each year and how the money is allocated among schools, villages, and other taxing bodies, again, for up to 40 years. Who qualifies and what projects? Applies only to very large mega projects, which by design captures something to the size of a new NFL stadium and surrounding campus and not ordinary commercial or residential developments. The text does not require the project to be entirely new construction, allowing a relocation from Chicago to Arlington Heights to qualify as long as it meets investment thresholds. Residential property is excluded in the latest draft, so the long tax break would apply to the stadium and possibly some related non-residential components, not to housing in a broader mixed-use districts. The length and scale of the break would be under the current language and committee explanations. The pilot / assessment freeze arrangement can run up for up to 40 years, effectively a decades-long property tax deal. Local coverage describes this as a major property tax break at the Bears' 326-acre Arlington Heights site, with the team paying negotiated pilots rather than full market value taxes over the period. Supporters explicitly tie HB 2789 to the Bears' statement that they need tax predictability before committing about $200 million of private money for a dome stadium on the Arlington Park site. Separate but related, state plans contemplate roughly $850 to $895 million in public funding for infrastructure, roads, transit access, utilities, and site work, serving the stadium and campus, which is politically bundled in the mega project conversation, even if not all that dollar figure sits directly in HB 2789's text. The oversight and local impact would be that it gives the Illinois Department of Revenue a role in certifying which projects qualify as mega project property and therefore can enter into these assessment free / pilot agreements. It requires that the local review board representing tax districts sign off on the pilot terms, which is pitched as protecting school districts and other local governments from being cut out of negotiations. Critics argue it sets up a bespoke tax break tool for politically favored projects like the Bears, while broader property tax reform goes unaddressed. And so that's kind of what's being discussed around that bill. Let's see. Hold on, we got kind of went off. I see the people in the comment section. Pinzone says Illinois won't vote on it until mid to late March. I know, right? That's the crazy part. That's the other part that's crazy about that is. But here's the thing. I don't think the Bears are in a rush. Again, their lease isn't up till the year 2033. And the reality is that it's not that they have to wait till 2033. I'll put it like that, but that's essentially the time period window that they have. Well, what I was reading, I can't. Those were side notes. What I was reading, those were just like notes that I took separate from the actual article that I posted up. Um, let's see. Okay, we got a Shy 32 Illinois in the comment section. They basically don't want taxpayers taking a hit for the new stadium. Exactly. No, for sure. And again, it's not a bad move. It's again, the voting doesn't happen till March. So it's just not official yet, which is, again, it's so, I can understand why to some people they're like, well, damn, Indiana already passed their bill. What if Chicago just goes, what if the Bears just go with that? And it's like, no, they own this property in Arlington Heights. They're not just, I don't think they're just willing and ready to relinquish it. I'm sure their desire is to stay here in Illinois. Again, even though, yes, Hammond is Chicagoland, somewhat like of a footprint, it's of the Chicagoland area. It's still Indiana, you know what I mean? So you just can't. I just don't see them getting away with that. You know what I'm saying? It's that's kind of crazy talk. You know what I mean? I see still in the background. Let me see if he's ready to hop in. We'll go ahead and bring him up. Yo, Sil, are you there?
Yeah.
Yo. There we go. What's going on, homie?
What's going on, man? Been a minute.
I'm not sure. Are you up to date with the Chicago Bears stadium deal?
Now, I was just listening to you breaking it down, man. I didn't know it's pretty much that close to being in Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're definitely a lot further in the steps for sure. But again, there's no rush, so I don't think the Bears are rushing to make a deal here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
they're in the driver's seat though. I mean, after this hot season, like they can.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. So they have all the leverage they need, I think, to,
mm-hmm.
Let's see. We got Pinzone in the comment section. He said, governor signed bill already in Indiana. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. The bill already passed in Indiana. It's set. They're essentially just waiting on the Bears now. Bears keep waiting for Illinois to pull the trigger, which again,
Mm-hmm.
rightfully so.
Oh, yeah.
They own this 326 acres of land in Arlington Heights.
This business, y'all. That's all it is.
It's business, exactly.
Well, let me ask you though, because like I said,
Mm-hmm.
we're both, basically lifelong Bears fans. Like,
yeah,
are we? Do we feel some kind of way if they take this Indiana deal? Like, I do rather it. It's something. Okay, let me just say this. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
It feels some kind of way, right? Being in Illinois, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel that, but again, I understand the business with this. If I want the best stadium ever,
mm-hmm.
and if they're kicking it, like if it's more benefits going across the state line,
mm-hmm.
people know it's Chicago Bears. So, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of torn. I'm a little torn because it's the sentiments of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. I trust me. I get it. Again, it's not you're not wrong there. And again, like I said, Hammond, Indiana is technically Chicagoland.
It is Chicago. Yeah, because we probably both been through there several times. It's practically Chicago.
It's practically Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll put it like this. And this is a crazy maybe analogy to use, but I'll put it like this, man. Gang warfare. Across the board.
If we're gonna keep it real, if we're gonna keep it real,
just to keep that a buck, you know what I'm saying?
I say Hammond, like literally, it's like you make like a left turn, and all of a sudden you're in Indiana.
Yeah,
and if you turn back right, you're back in Illinois. Like it's literally what that is.
so it's like
I ain't mad at it.
It's not that crazy technically, you know what I'm saying? But it's the idea of like Indiana though. I'm sure that's the part that a lot of us would have to still like, I guess, swallow.
It meant something, and maybe like it's great we just had that playoff game, mm-hmm. and it was in Chicago at Soldier Field, and like we had the Packers there, and it's like that meant something that it was in Chicago.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So 100%. That's the only thing, because it's like, okay, if they take this deal in the next 2 seasons, I think our team's gonna be, contending level.
Yes. 100%.
And it will mean something for that NFC Championship game to be in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? That's just,
No, you're right on the money with that. The reality is them moving wherever they move. Here's the reality. Like when people think about why the Bears struggle, and I'm not saying that. I'll put it like this. Hold on. I don't want to. I'm not gonna pretend like the Chicago Bears haven't been cheap for like a long time. You know what I mean? Regarding how they draft and how they pick players, whatever, and sign deals and things like that, whatever, trades and stuff. But a part of that problem also was the high taxes we're paying here in the city for this, for the lease we have. You know what I mean, and all that stuff. So either way, if they go to Hammond in the end, although I will say Arlington Heights is still the better deal. They own that property, so they're not, they wouldn't be leasing it. They own it. So that would give them the most financial like opening, you know what I'm saying? To start actually like aggressively building on this team that looks ready, that looks like it's ready to go far, and they can be we could be a force to reckon with for the next couple of years.
Well, because with this stadium, because it's forward thinking, right? You build this new stadium, you're talking about hosting a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this, again, if we had a chance to host Super Bowl, it's like I would want it in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like I would want it. It's like a part of me is like, dang, like. Because when we get a new stadium, we're going to host a Super Bowl, like
100%,
8 years from now or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And
100%.
It's like, but again, people know, like the local people. If you know, they know that they know. Hammond is cool. Arlington area. It's. I'm just, it's a little nitpicks. That's all.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's see. We got Shy 32 Illinois said, "Did you hear about Svengoli trying to make a pitch about bringing the Bears to Berwyn?" You know what? I didn't hear. Someone else brought that to my attention the last time I went live. I didn't hear about the pitch. That's actually interesting. And they brought up Berwyn as well, which was not in my mind. I'm like, you know what? If we're okay with Hammond because it's like Chicagoland, Berwyn or Cicero isn't a bad idea either, because that's borderline. Like it's borderline Chicago, like it's like
I don't know. Penzone feel like that's going too far. I don't know. In the chat, they feel that. They don't like that. It was with you at Hammond, but it was like, hold on.
Yeah, right. Mr. J saluting you.
Shout out to Mr. J. Yeah, for sure. That's the homie.
Vegas is practice. I'm not sure what that is coming.
Oh, Vegas is practically LA, Oakland. Well, that's a stretch. And he's joking, but that's a stretch. He's a Raiders fan, right? So
okay, right.
You got the LA Raiders or Oakland Raiders. Now they're in Vegas,
right?
So they're just like,
I see what he's saying. He's making the comparison of like if the Bears do go to Hammond,
we can't. We the Bears. We can't do that.
Yeah, that's no. Yeah, exactly. Because look, here's the thing. We have, as much as there's this rivalry between us and the Packers, there's the second rivalry after that is either probably Minnesota or the Colts, I would say.
Oh, okay. So you're putting Colts up there. Okay.
I'd only say that because we still have a bone. Exactly. We have a bone to pick with them in the Super Bowl. You feel me?
Peyton got us. Yeah,
we didn't forget about that one. You feel me?
But I still put Detroit before. I'm gonna be honest, like as an honest Bears fan. And we're talking about growing up as Bears fans. Obviously, Packers. I put Detroit up there actually for some reason before Minnesota.
Okay.
For some reason, I look at Minnesota. I'm like, okay, that's cute. You got purple jerseys. Like that's much respect to Minnesota. That's like the legend artist Prince from Minnesota. I feel it, but I more want to like whip up on Detroit before Minnesota. And if you're saying like you're talking about getting your lick back, that's why you said the Colts. So
that's why I said the Colts. Yeah.
Because they got us in the Super Bowl. So we got
that's all I'm saying. They got us in the Super Bowl.
Because to this day, Tom Brady always talks about the Eagles beating him in the Super Bowl. Now he got him one time before with Donovan McNabb, but he was like that last one when they got us with the backup quarterback. He was like he had a bone to pick, just like the Giants, right? He's like. That's not like a real regular season rivalry, Patriots Giants, but it's that significance that they got you twice in the Super Bowl. So that's why the Colts is like, So that's my second team. That's a weird thing. Though. That's my second team. So that's a weird feeling.
Right. No, right. Yeah, that's true. See, but here's what's funny about that is that when you're talking about that Chicagoland, that's Indiana, you know what I'm saying? When you're talking like Hammond, East Chicago, Gary.
Gary,
Even when you go a little further into like Cherville or Maryville, whatever, those kind of like they're still heavily packed with Chicago Bears fans. That's what's crazy. So that's why that's why to me it's not that far fetched with the whole Hammond move.
No, let's say I'm more rocking with Hammond than any. If we're gonna do Indiana, because like I said, you go to Hammond, like it's Bears City. I mean, they got the merch. They all with it. So
I'll never let it go, bro. I'll never let it go.
He probably from Chicago,
here's
right?
the thing, y'all don't understand. I had to deal with. Here's the thing. So I went to school that year at Lake Central High, which was in Cherville, I believe, or one of those towns, because I was staying with my sister, and this is how I know that whole like part of Indiana, there's still very much Chicago Bears fans, heavy. I mean, to the point that the school, the kids in school, we were split, like we were having like almost like war, like just brawls because of the Bear in Indiana.
It's funny for that Super Bowl. I went to, because I have family, in the Midwest and other areas, but I went to South Bend, Indiana for when that Super Bowl happened. So South Bend, Indiana, that's Notre Dame town for people that's not from there. And so that's right by the border of Michigan as well. But it's like about a 90-minute drive from Chicago.
Right.
And that was heavily Bears area in Indiana. South Bend, that's much further from Hammond.
Right.
And that household was torn out there because they was in the middle of Indiana, and there was still a lot of Bears fans in Indiana. So like I said, Indiana is technically Bears, northern part of Indiana is Bears
northern
country.
Part of Indiana is very much Bears country.
Yeah.
Very much. Like you said, Hammond, Indiana, they root for the Bulls, not the Pacers, 100%.
Yeah.
They cheer the Bears, not the Colts.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I get it. That's why I'm not too bent on the fact that they'd move there if they do. But I gotta say, I think I prefer Arlington Heights simply because at least it's Illinois, right? It's like, it's not Indiana. It's not.
The more I think about it, though, I think we could get away with him because, like, the locals will represent. The locals will totally represent and rock for the Bears, the Chicago Bears.
It's just like, yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Like, now do they still call themselves the Chicago Bears? You know what I mean? Because are we cool with the Hammond Bears? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you better, like, if you go to Hammond, you gotta stay Chicago Bears. You gotta stay Chicago.
That's
Bears.
Brandon. You can't be nothing else but Chicago Bears. Like, you can't be like Mr. JC and the Vegas Raiders. You can't do that. You can't go out there like that. You can't go out like that.
We cannot. Okay, we got a meme in the chat. He says, yo, meme here saying, what up, y'all? What up, dude? What it do?
No mean.
So, but yeah, man. So yeah, I'm look, man. If they go to Hammond, I'm not too bent over it, but a part of me still leans towards Arlington Heights. And I only say that just because it's still Illinois. It's there's I feel there's more of a shot of them being able to do more with that than what they're going to be able to do. But again, we still have yet to see this. I can't speak too far ahead. Like I'm kind of speaking too far ahead when I say this because this all hinges on the fact of whether or not the bill that's being pushed right now to be voted on in Illinois even gets voted on and pushed forward and passes. Because without that, then yeah, it's none of this matters, and then Indiana's really talking business here.
Money's gonna talk. Like, what's the best deal?
And that's why this episode's called Money Talks.
There you
go. Money Talks, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Indiana's talking about their money.
Big business.
So we'll see where that goes, man. But man, dude, obviously we're gonna get into I'm gonna save the Zack Snyder thing for the end. Because I feel like that's just the way to properly encapsulate this discussion, right? Initially, I wasn't actually going to do that. This is like the Zack Snyder interview that he just that was like an audible, like on my end. Like I'm like, oh snap! I was going to piggyback off the politics I was talking about last week, but I'm like, no, I got to talk about this Zack Snyder interview. But before we go there, obviously we have to talk. We have to talk about the Warner Brothers bid and how money talks. And money talks, right? I mean, look, I'm gonna bring it up, guys. And y'all gonna see here. I'm just gonna let y'all read the headline. Hold on before I lose you. The Pen Zone said, think about it real quick. Indiana has bent over backwards for Bears, and they still haven't fully agreed. They're waiting on 100%. 100%. That's a fact. They're waiting on Illinois.
Because that's going to benefit Indiana big time. So I get it why, again, in northern Indiana, is really going to rock with it. But so yeah, like it's just business, right? Money talks. That's all.
That's all it is, man.
Perfect title.
That's what the title is. Money talks, man. But we see now I'm gonna. This is how much money talks, right? This is how money talks, guys.
This is crazy.
A deal.
This is crazy.
And Warner Brothers Discovery.
I don't want to derail your opening here, but a few months ago, man, we was talking about what's the best deal, right? So this is just like a full circle moment right here. So
No. Well, look, you pointed it out. I was definitely gonna go there. So because the reality is me and you discussed this like way back when this was first in the discussions, right? And we were, contemplating the whole thing. Not contemplating. Actually, I feel like we were both on the same page.
Oh, for sure.
And that's that we both felt Paramount out of all the deals was it seemed like the logical deal at the time, but for whatever reason,
because at that time Comcast was a viable option. Comcast they was about to bid. Option, Netflix was coming out of nowhere, so I was like, where did they come from? And then all this happened, to end up here.
We got Mr. J in the comments. He said, some people said it's only $1. LOL, that $1 was the difference.
I mean, it started at 30 a share, Paramount, and all of a sudden it's like we're gonna go to 31. And Netflix like, oh, that's it. That's it. It's some other factors, but that was weird.
No, 100%. Look, there's things to consider here that we have to keep in mind, right? It's that there was other factors, right? So, and it's funny because Penn, me and Penn even talked about it. He thought for sure that the Paramount thing wasn't going to go anywhere, because because Warner Brothers seemed like they were bent or just, I guess solidly going with Netflix. You know what I mean?
That was weird.
It appeared that way, right? But dude, I'm telling you, something about him it just doesn't make sense. Why you wouldn't just clean your hands, sell the whole thing off at a higher share, at a higher price. It just didn't make sense that they were going for that and that they were just going to let that go somehow, And then when Paramount then obviously pushed forward that was it like a lawsuit or not a lawsuit?
Yeah, a hostile takeover.
Hostile takeover. Then I'm like, no, even they see what they see what I see, what we all see. It's like, hold on, this is crazy.
Well, for context, right? Because you said, Netflix was just going for the studio streaming side, and that was about 80 billion. And Paramount was saying 100 billion for everything, for the studio streaming, for the cable channels, everything, right?
Everything.
And so I was like, I kept saying on my channel, I was like, I wasn't born yesterday, but I think, even if I was, I know 100 billion is better than 80 billion. So what? And Mr. J is in the chat. He we was in a chat group. He was like, "This doesn't make sense. Paramount's offering more. Why aren't they looking at this deal?" It was just weird.
It made no sense. Even with when you paired up both offers, it just didn't make any sense. It's like, what is going on here, right? One is only buying just the studio and streaming assets, not the entire company, while the other one is buying everything, including the cable networks, everything. One is offering $27.75 per share, roughly, right? 83 billion dollar value for parts being acquired. The other one said $31 per share, and that's the latest one, the latest revision. And then around whatever, and actually now finalized $111 billion. Depending on structure and assumptions, which I'm assuming played in their favor. We'll probably read into that article a little bit.
Context with that is in 2021, Discovery, was Zaslav. They bought Warner Brothers for $43 billion. So 5 years ago. So Zaslav, his entire plan. I talked with the late great Mikey Sutton. Our videos are still up talking about this in 2021. That Zaslav was going to buy the company, increase the value, and flip it.
Right.
So this man, he spent $43 billion. He's getting $111 billion back. Insane flip. Like, this is a legacy move for Zaslav. He's going to retire in about 5 years off of
100% easily. And then so again, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then and not only that, then again, when you actually think about even when I really felt like, oh, wait a minute. I mean, and again, the whole time I was on the fence because like I stated before, and like I stated even with when we last talked about it, I'm gonna just remove this right quick. But when we last talked about it, I was like, look, honestly, it can go wherever. I just need someone different to take a hold of the reins. You know what I mean? But the reality is, as we discussed then, is like, I just don't know if I trust Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like their model, their business model. I don't know if I trust it for what they're about to acquire. And granted, like, is that in hindsight maybe judging ahead of time? Possibly. But I could only go based off of what they've shown, what they've said.
Yeah.
Right. So imagine when we discussed it, we didn't even get to the point of when they were on the hot seat, at
the Senate, he was
at the Senate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or Senate or Congress, one of the two. But when they were on the hot seat, and all of it, and even before that moment, they're talking about 17 days for a theatrical window. I was like, that's ridiculous.
See, it leaked out that Netflix, like you said, it comes down to that no one really trusts them, because this entire time Netflix, as they were building up their streaming service, they're the number one streaming in the world for a good reason. 300 over 300 million subscribers worldwide. Netflix is, when I turn on the TV, that's probably the first app I go to. Like, what's on Netflix? Like, they got podcasts and all kinds of stuff over there now. So I was like, they're the streaming king for a reason, but they were talking crap about theaters all this time. Like, they were like theater, and you got some people out there that were like, oh, they put they did a world premiere of Knives Out, and it's for like 2 days, bro. Like, Netflix, the theater owners didn't trust Netflix. It's like, no, you ain't trying to really break business with us, doing like a real theatrical run. And then you had the Directors Guild coming out against them, Christopher Nolan, James Cameron, the great James Cameron. I'm sick of the slander that's being talked about James Cameron from Netflix fans. Y'all need to chill on James Cameron,
which is nuts.
This is Mr. Terminator,
which is nuts.
Avatar, Titanic. Like, no, like every generation.
Come on,
don't come at James Cameron now. If he's saying Netflix is messing with our money, just realize Netflix was messing with their money if they were going to take over Warner Brothers. So it was all business, overall.
Right.
But it just came down to people who didn't trust Netflix. And then us as consumers, we're like, are you really, like, we want the Snyderverse, right? Just the underlining of all this. Are you really going to put that in theaters, Netflix?
Right.
Because you may stream something, but I want JL2 in theaters,
Yeah, exactly. It's not. First off, we still need Zack Snyder's Justice League in theaters globally, for that matter. But not globally, at least in the States.
Yeah.
That still needs to happen, But the reality is after that film, as great as it was, consuming it on HBO Max, I guess, for what it was. Yeah, there's no way we're talking about seeing JL2 and 3 not in theater. There's just no way. There's just no, like, and that's why for me, as we discussed, in those prior episodes, it was always Paramount for me, the better option, because I just felt like, well, I think they have won the experience already with the theater rollout and all that stuff. And I believe they just know the value of that. The reality is Netflix doesn't value that because that's not their structure. That's not their system. That's, they've made, it's almost like, and this is probably a crazy analogy, but it's it's almost like, it's like trying to convince, it's like trying to convince somebody who's making good money off coke, to all of a sudden like, hey, why don't you also sell some crack? And you know what I'm saying, when he's doing just fine with coke,
like his business, yes.
There's no reason for him to step out the box. It's in fact, a better example would be Frank Lucas, an American Gangster, right?
Yeah.
He had a certain business model. It made him successful. The moment he starts venturing out, right? Like, you know what I mean? But all that to say, like, look, Netflix is comfortable with how they make money. You know what I mean? They're comfortable there. So like this idea that I would just trust them to all of a sudden take the risks, and not really risks, but I'm sure in their eyes it would be to then say, yeah, let's do these theater rollouts and have like an exact plan for that. Like it was just hard to trust that, and sure, okay, once they're on the hot seat, you got Buddy, no, 45 days is the standard. We're gonna do 45 days. Like
sometimes,
whatever. Yeah, sometimes, right? Exactly. Sometimes, because sometimes we can't. So it's like, oh, bro. Like, all right.
It was hard. It was hard to trust. Like I said, that's all it came down to. Again, as consumers, as the directors in Hollywood, the Actors Guild, everyone was just like, and again, let's be real. It wasn't about saving the theatrical experience. That's not what everyone was really upset. As far I'm talking about the Hollywood. That's not what they were really upset about. They was upset about the back end deals, back end deals that they get with theaters.
100%.
If you cut it too short, are you really going to, are you going to put something on digital sales and then physical sales, or is it just going straight to Netflix? So it would just you can't trust that if they never been in that business before.
Right. Mr. J is saying Zaslav had some kind of secret deal with Netflix, but got called out and had no choice but to go with Paramount. Possibly. Something was weird there because it just didn't make sense. I'm sorry, it just didn't make sense.
Thankfully, some of the investors stepped in. Warner Brothers investors, they were just like, "Hold up, this don't sound right." Like again, they're offering $100 billion plus. Like why are we looking at that? And and I'm a Warner Brothers shareholder, and I was ready to, we had this vote that was coming up. Now instead of the Netflix vote, is going to be, the Paramount vote. Obviously, I mean, I'm going to vote yes for Paramount, and for that Netflix vote, I had some shareholders reaching out to me because they knew, I jumped on Warner Bros. When their shares was down $6 a share, like that.
You had to.
I'm not giving no advice out here, but I'm saying that was the greatest thing because now it's nearly $30 a share. So you just imagine the growth with that. So they would reach out to me. It's like, what you gonna vote with? And the funny thing was, a few of them was like, what's best for the Snyderverse? Like that's what they would ask me. What's best for the Snyderverse? Right. And I'm just like, yo, like, y'all know I felt Paramount the whole time is the point. And now we'll see, what happens with that. But Netflix just wasn't the best option.
It just wasn't. I mean, let's go ahead and read some of this article. Did you read it already, Sil? Have you read this one yet?
Yeah, I think I skimmed through that one a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
That just dropped earlier. Yeah.
So in a major turn of events, Netflix backed away from its $87.2 billion deal on Thursday, which was yesterday. Paramount's $111 billion mega deal for Warner Brothers Discovery is officially a go. The two companies formally unveiled the deal Friday after Netflix formally bowed out on the running a day earlier, citing a price that was no longer financially attractive. How honest do you think that is, though? Still, how you know what I mean? How honest do you really think that is?
My theory. Go ahead.
No, because here's the thing. So for me, it's like, I'm like, not financially attractive. Are you insane? Like, everything about this deal is financially attractive. And this is something I kept saying. It doesn't matter who gets it. Whoever gets it is coming up. this is a come up for whoever buys in on this.
The upside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The upside of it. Yeah. It's whoever acquires Warner Brothers, they are benefiting. You like, they're just, no matter how you break it down, whether it's Paramount now having more to add it to Paramount Plus, now having these IPs that they can roll out into theaters and all that. And look, even when it was Netflix, the one that was technically in the lead and they were the ones on the table, I said the same thing about them. Look, they're about to have all these IPs, everything that's on HBO Max essentially now on Netflix, which opens up their library. So it's gonna for sure bring them much more subscribers. And now, if they're really serious about this, or I guess having a foot or a taking part of the battle of the theaters, you know what I'm saying? And if they were serious about that, now you have that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they were really serious about that, again, we'll never really know because, we don't know if it's
because it's weird. 2 points with that. So, I like how you said, Dan. Like, was it really serious? Because for Netflix walking away, they gained $2.8 billion. They were given money to walk away.
That's true. And from what I understand, the shares even went up a bit too, no?
And their share, because see, the funny thing, when Netflix originally agreed to this deal, that was in December, their shares were at first, before the deal, was over 100, like 105, 107. It plummeted down to last week like $75, which was the best time ever to buy Netflix stock. I just wasn't ready for it. I just wasn't ready. Like, that was the time to get Netflix stock. Because after they said, okay, we're out, it's back over $90 again, just like that in 48 hours. So their stocks recovered and they gained $2.8 billion. So they're walking away like as this is a win to walk away from this deal.
Yeah.
And, so that was the weird thing. But to your first point, if Netflix wanted to jump into the theatrical business again, what other studio is going to be, available like this? Like, you had MGM 5 years ago, Amazon got them, and then Discovery got Warner Brothers, and then Disney's not going to sell, Sony's not going to sell. So it's like, this was the best time for any of these companies to get a studio. And the last point is, it's an IP game. It's about getting IP. If you own Warner Brothers, you own DC, all the characters 100%. It's not like Marvel where it's all spread out. You have all Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all that you want, Justice League, and then Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Matrix. It's just a lot of stuff that you could have with just that alone.
Yeah.
You should have went all. So you said, oh, they went up $1 a share, and you like, oh, the price is out. I can't take you seriously, bro.
I can't. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. I saw that and I'm like, what are we saying here? That's the most ridiculous thing.
Thanks for playing trophy. Exactly.
That's exactly.
Here's a couple billion. Like, what? Hey, something was up, but this was fishy. This was very fishy.
100%, man. Man. Let's go ahead and continue here. Let's see.
They got 3 billion.
All right. So, no longer financially attractive. Bullshit. I'm calling it bullshit. Paramount mogul David Ellison said, from the very beginning, our pursuit of Warner Brothers Discovery has been guided by a clear purpose to honor the legacy of 2 iconic companies while accelerating our vision of building a next-generation media and entertainment company. By bringing together these world-class studios, our complementary streaming platforms, and the extraordinary talent behind them, we will create even greater value for audiences, partners, and shareholders. And we couldn't be more excited for what's ahead. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav added, I am very pleased with the outcome we achieved for WBD shareholders and the entertainment industry. Our guiding principle throughout this process has been to secure a transaction that maximizes the value of our iconic assets and our century-old studio while delivering as much certainty as possible for our investors. We look forward to working with Paramount to complete this historic transaction. So, look, I would say this. I'm not, I always thought to myself, it's funny that he says, notice he said something that was actually kind of interesting. He said, that their interest was in getting the most for their assets, right? So I will say that when they signed on with that Netflix deal initially, but it wasn't set in stone and there was still the vote happening, that was the thought that was constantly running through my head, right? Because then even the fact that, like, again, like I said, the moment I saw even Paramount do that hostile takeover move, and I'm like, okay, hold on, like, what is Warner Brothers doing here? Saying, like, and that was my thought. It's like, are they just using this Netflix thing as leverage to see if they can squeeze a bit more out of the Paramount deal?
That's exactly what happened.
Exactly that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Right? Like, and so, like, when that what was it, last week, right? When it was all like, oh, Netflix gives agrees to have this 7-day window to allow Paramount to come with a superior bid, and one final offer, whatever, final bid, and that they were willing to match or whatever it was. Which again, this is why the BS of the Netflix CEO guy, whatever,
Ted Sarandos, man, this dude was spitting nonsense, bro. I'm like, this man, I don't believe anything this man was saying. Bro,
come on, man.
He was talking straight.
He was, and that's my whole point. And then you were willing to match. All of a sudden, it's not financially attractive. Okay. But all that to say that, especially when that happened, that's when I was like, oh, Paramount is still in this very much so. Like, heavy. Like that was something that mattered. And then on top of that, the fact that they also secured that that first tier of hold on, I had it written here somewhere.
The regulatory
yes. Yeah. The fact that they already cleared an initial US antitrust hurdle. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. That's when I was really like, okay. I'm like, Paramount's cooking.
And they sitting there grilling Netflix like they was like a deer in headlights. It was like, like it got to a point. Now it was some clown stuff in that Senate hearing, but they was like, oh, you think you on stolen land? I was like, bro, like, how did we get here? How did we get here with this? Like, oh, you got far left ideologies. I'm like, chill. Like, Netflix is trying to make some money, man. This ain't, y'all made this like crazy in there. But they were just, it was gonna be like that all year. Every time they went into the Senate, like they were gonna drill Netflix to the point where it's just like, bro, like, we're not going to let this pass. That's the latest I heard. Before Paramount came back, I was like, I kept hearing, there's no way this administration is going to allow Netflix to own this. So, and I think Netflix knew that, but they it had to be some kind of game they're playing here because they gained $2.8 billion.
Yeah, I mean, true, but but is that anything really to the amounts that they make? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Well, the amount they're willing to invest,
if that's straight cash, right? And I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I mean, then you're just talking about, hey, this is going to go towards our cash flow, meaning we can invest this in films and then things like that. So,
right.
$3 billion is still $3 billion. Now, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can understand we're still in the millions, but it's like, okay, do we really? But no, Netflix, you just hand me $2.8 billion,
right?
Yeah, no, yeah. I could play a game for a couple months for that and be like, I'm out. I could pull an injury. Yeah. Give me $2.8 billion. But that's what they did. I think they were playing this. I think they were playing this again. And it's up to you how far you want to get into this. But it's like, obviously there was a real movement behind the Netflix angle, and obviously that's connected to Zack Snyder as well. But 3-4 years ago, we said this in the video, the last video. I was like, we would have championed that all day. Like, oh, let's go Netflix. They're spending money with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot for the Red Notice film. They gave Zack Snyder Rebel Moon, Armyverse. They were giving the Russos money. Like, they were doing all kinds of stuff. So I was like, okay, Netflix is trying to, let's go big with this, right?
Yeah, they were cooking.
And then something's changed. All of a sudden, Zack Snyder ain't doing no more movies with Netflix. Like, what? Hey, can we get something official with that? And so
that was nuts.
It was funny style with Netflix, lately. And
Right.
so it's like those that were champion Netflix. Again, I get it 4 years ago. It's just, what have you done for me lately? That's just what it is. That's business.
100%.
And it's just like, okay, y'all leaving Zack Snyder hanging. And, if it's about more Zack Snyder stuff, I didn't think Netflix was the angle, especially too. We have the alternate. We got the Saudis over there, with Paramount. And I was like, okay, this is like you said, it's a no-brainer to me with that.
It was really a no-brainer. No, you're right about that. Look, here's the thing. I'll say this, right? Because obviously there's much to say about the clinging on of the Netflix angle, but I'm trying to be a good man here, so I'm not gonna bash you guys for it. I get it, but at the same time, as we just stated, it was weird that you guys couldn't see the red flags. That's the part that just didn't make sense to me. And look, like I said, I wasn't totally against Netflix. I wasn't totally against anybody. Like, again, even if it was Comcast, I wasn't against any of it because I just knew something needed to change. Because the reality is as far as DC is concerned, right? Let's actually be more direct on that, right? Because as far as DC is concerned, personally for me, I just wasn't happy with what was happening with DC. Everything else is kind of up for discussion. I'm not so sure they're doing, I heard that, and I have yet to watch it. I heard that the Lord of the Rings animated movie they did that was fire. I'm not too sure that last Matrix film they dropped was good. I think the Monsterverse was decent. Like, it was good. I'll put it like this: the Monsterverse was good for me. I liked it, but looking at the numbers and how well it was really doing, it was okay. You know what I'm saying? But then they also had some good swings, right? Like, which, when you're looking at Minecraft, the Barbie movie, Sinners, they were on a roll on everything else, but DC, and and that's why for me it was more about DC when I was concerned about like who's gonna take the reins of Warner Brothers, because I was more concerned about the DC angle. And now just thinking about that, when you're telling me that people were asking you, hey, who's the better option?
Yeah.
Just there's no way you think it's Netflix. There's just no way you think it's Netflix. Is it better than the status quo at the moment? Maybe. I don't really know that for certain, but I can assume it. I can assume it would have been better than the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
But what's best for DC? The obvious choice was Paramount, like leagues ahead, from theatrical rollout to the relationships that were already existing there. The Saudi angle really 100% was one of the biggest angles for me. Because I'm like, yo, they love Zack Snyder.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They love Zack Snyder. So when you're talking about, and matter of fact, I think I even asked this the last time we talked about it. I said, the problem is that the guy who is championing Zack Snyder at Netflix is no longer there.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The moment he was gone,
yeah,
that's when it was a problem.
That's when things changed for Zack Snyder. That was right before Rebel Moon Part 2 came out. And then after he left, that's when they botched the whole director's cut release.
Yep.
So it's like, and again, we're only seeing it from our angle, and this is what we're saying is that what's best for Zack Snyder's content and in DC, because that was the most epic DC we've seen in our lifetime is Zack Snyder. So who's going to give us the best opportunity to see that again?
Right.
And with Netflix, and like of the people that reached out to me, the shareholders, the majority was definitely for Paramount, but. But like you said, though, it wasn't saying like 100% Netflix was going to just drop the ball and fumble. But you know, it would have been better, like you said, status quo, because maybe they could wedge in there and adjust DC Studios. But we know Paramount has already been recruiting creators to do DC before they even bought it. Like, it's a story that's out there.
Come on now.
We're assembling a team already. Now,
crazy.
If Gunn doesn't stay, if Gunn makes money, I think they're business people. The Ellison's head of a Paramount, and they're like, okay, if he's making us money, we're going, you know. But if he comes on deal we just did last year, maybe may not work, right? But they were already coming into the door saying, yo, we already got people that's ready to do DC. And once I heard that, I was like, I was already leaning Paramount, but I was like 100%. I was like, okay, they want to be great. Okay, they want DC to be great. Let's go.
yeah. Dude, that's what was funny to me. You know, it's like, hold on, what do we really want here? Like, that's the part that was so confusing to me. You know, and I remember getting into it with a few of them a couple times, you know, like, because they were convinced, like, hey, it was streaming. And I'm like,
for Zack Snyder?
For Zack Snyder? That's what for DC? Like, that's what you guys really want? Like, are you guys, and it's like, even Rebel Moon, like, I would have preferred to see that in theater.
It wasn't as big as it should have been. Rebel Moon, that's the thing there, where that was a new franchise, and again, they fumbled the rollout. Yeah. So I'm supposed to trust them after what they just did to Zack Snyder? Like, what they just did to a superior film, the director's cut.
Right.
You got people, I got people out there, even some friends of mine and people that I keep in touch with, that they haven't even watched the director's cut yet, because they're like, oh, the PG cuts was, you know, and I'm like, yo, like, that's on Netflix, like, not pushing the superior cut early on. You know, overall, shout out to Real Talk. In
right. No, for sure, man. I mean, that's what was funny. I'm like, what are we saying here, man? Like you guys are for sure. That's why I'm like, hold on, and this is why, like I said, we can go down. That's why there's some merit.
It's a chop shop, man.
Yeah. It is a chop shop, right? It is a chop shop, and this is why, like, when I don't know if you saw Peely, he put out a video there, and he kind of shout out to Peely. That's the homie right there, and he's kind of said it as it was. Like, look, it's kind of weird that you guys were championing this so hard, right? Well, no, actually, no. Hold on. He first put out a post, and the post essentially kind of, went down that route of, like, a lot of you guys were, like, campaigning hard for this Netflix thing to the point that you guys created a wedge, created another wedge in a movement that already had enough wedges in the vision. Frankly, if we can talk about that,
don't we know?
You know what I'm saying? But then you went and created another wedge there and the vision, and causing, like, weird
energy for sure.
Weird energy, just weird energy. Yeah. And sadly said on the name of others that really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying not to, like, be direct, but maybe I should be direct here.
They win at certain people.
They win at certain people, but not only that, they even, like. Man, should I go there? Should I not?
I mean, it's no turning back at this point. But
right. Look, I'll put it like this, man. Here's what bothered me. I'm gonna just call it as it is. And look, they I don't even know. I'm trying to be a nice guy, and I really don't know why. It's not like they ever really showed me love. They haven't shown me love in a minute. So
okay,
gloves off. Why am I even gonna pretend? I'm trying to be nice because I'm just trying to be nice, but it's kind of for no reason at this point, I guess. Hold on, Real Talk Protest. I'm glad finally the deal is made. Zach said it's almost March. Yeah, right. We're gonna get there. We're getting there. Tim says, "Go there,
go there, do it."
All right, we're going there. All right, whatever, man. Look,
here's what it is.
This kind of even ties into, like, the new intro that I did for you, right? I kind of I loosely reference it in that song if people pay attention.
I know flip mode. I know.
You know what I mean? And maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time to go flip mode. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I already
but
know.
you guys awkwardly created a wedge while still holding on to a name, the late great Mikey Sutton. And then you use that to keep, like, you used it. You used it and you used him essentially, because it's like, you and it's like you guys even wait, like it's like you guys took advantage the moment he was gone to then create this weird like wedge. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just weird. Like, it was like a weird energy. And the fact that people were actually like fine with that. You know what I mean? And then following like these weird narratives, and obviously, like, you know, we and you, we've danced around it enough, you know, on other episodes with how they came at you and stuff. And
for sure.
And like I said, like, you know, obviously the song that I created for you in your channel was about that exactly. But it was just weird energy. It was just weird energy, and like and it's shameful, really. It's shameful and it's sad, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I mean,
hey, like I said,
at this point, I'm ranting, man.
It's the chop shop, so we just gonna put it all the way out there, because, you know, the last thing I wanted to do, you know, when we lost Mikey, because again, I'm in touch with Mikey's family all the time, right? So I promised them I wasn't gonna make it a spectacle. So when, you know, when he passed away, and then everyone that, because Mikey, he was taking in a lot of people and, you know, putting them on, you know, introducing them to people. And it's like, I mean, that's how, you know, that's how, when I met Mikey, I got a chance to network with, you know, all the people I know now is always, you know, thanks to Mikey. And, but then too, you know, I had to put in work too. It's like, you can't just show up and, you know, but it's like, but I will always, you know, obviously I will always credit, I mean, the Snyder fandom primarily. You know, Peely introduced me to a lot of people. Like half the fandom wouldn't know Still Abdul if I didn't, you know, rock with Peely on the Go Deep podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like way back. And then Mikey introduced me to people just networking. So when people got around Mikey, you saw the potential, like, oh, you know, I can, you know, Mikey can set me up for something. And Mikey had a TV show that he was setting up, you know, sadly when he passed away, that, you know, things fell apart with that. Right. So some of these people was hoping to kind of jump on to what Mikey was doing. The comic book, the Dreamwalker comic book. I appeared in the comic book, and I pulled a lot of people with me to get a chance to have that opportunity. And those are some of the same people that when Mikey was gone and I wasn't, you know, going to put them on some kind of project or something, they flipped. That's that whole flip mode thing right there, where it's like, hey, you got to get it. Because I put in numbers, you know, and I'm trying to say this as respectful. It's probably like, obviously, again, the majority of people that found my platform was after I got with Mikey Sutton. Right. But to get to that point, I put in the work before I met Mikey Sutton. My channel was doing what it was supposed to do leading up to the Snyder Cut releasing before I met Mikey Sutton. 100%. So that was the foundation right there. So the people that felt like, okay, they need to be put on and things like that, because I'm just telling you, this is exactly why the fallout happened. Right. Is, you know, they wanted the same promises that Mikey Sutton was giving them. And like you said, it's a shame to see them try to, like, they did like some kind of AI thing with Mikey. You got people want to, they wanted Mikey to publish the books and stuff. People was trying to do all kinds of stuff. To become writers and comic book writers. You know, it's a lot of stuff that I promised their family very early on. I was like, I'm not going to make, you know, all kinds of, you know what I'm saying, videos and stuff about it. Cause I'm like, you know, again, I talk to his niece all the time. You know, she just got married recently, and, you know, she was like, you know, my uncle ain't here, and like, I appreciate you and your support. It's like, that's how I am with his family. So I'm not going to make some kind of wild, you know, AI that was so disrespectful to his family. And they don't care. They wanted to be in comic books. They wanted to be in the Dreamwalker TV show.
Right.
You know, you had someone where I handpicked to be in the show, and I had to tell them the news that the show fell apart, and they flipped on me. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the underlining fact of all this. Now, on top of that, when you got content creators, you got people that do this as a hobby. Right. And that's great. Like it's becoming more of a hobby for me actually now too. But it's like, you know, you want to fire up and talk about stuff. But you do this for stuff that you love, and the constant thing when I started my channel was Snyderverse. What's best for Zack Snyder, right? And this Netflix thing, it's become something where it's about hashtags. It's literally about hashtags. Like we've lived through this, Vega, with the release of Snyder Cut. At least that hashtag held. At least the message was there for release of Snyder Cut, and it was accomplished. And then when the Snyder Cut came out, I talked with Fiona before she tweeted restore the Snyderverse.
Right.
And that was the call. This Netflix stuff, at that point, it's like we're looking for, because this is after Gunn gets hired, right? So we're like, okay, what's next? Because it's 180 to everything that we were expecting, Cavill and Ben.
Right.
So Netflix, like, okay, that served the purpose to be like, let's put our energy towards this. All of a sudden, it didn't become about Zack Snyder. And the day I said that on my stream a couple years ago, then I'm their enemy now. But I'm just like, bro, I looked into all this. People like forget, like, yes, I don't try to like every video I'm gonna do scoops and stuff like that. It's like, no, sometimes I hear stuff. I mean, we've seen what happened when I get, you know, information that y'all like. but most of the time, I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan of all this stuff. Like, I want to see Zach do more. So it's like when Mikey passed, and then they kept saying this Netflix stuff, I was like, let me look into this. Right. And more I looked into it, it was like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, And so when I voiced that, I was like, bro, I'm not gonna lead people again. You know, I led people when I was like, oh, Henry Cavill's in the end of Black Adam. And I was like, I want to see that through. That has to be true, because I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't do no victory lap if it's not true. You know
exactly.
It has to happen. Ben Affleck in Aquaman 2. So many people was like, still, like, you ain't no scooper now. What you saying? You trying to say Ben Affleck's in Aquaman 2? Like, you about to kill your whole career. You know? And Jason Momoa confirmed me that week. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to push this Netflix thing, it has to be some substance behind it, because I cannot rock with something where it comes back on me and it's like, hey, you know, you're leading people down the wrong road. So it just in short, you know, a lot of those people, really the Netflix movement, again, this chop shop, so we're gonna keep it real. The Netflix movement, that came from Sil Nation. So this is a segment of people that was rocking, you know, with Mikey and everything, and they felt like I had to adapt or adopt what they wanted with that. But what they didn't realize is, like, you know, I'm not like these other, you got some influencers out here now where they would just do whatever the audience tells them to do, you know, and collect the check. And with me, if I'm really not feeling it, I have no problem. I have a day job. Okay. So if you rock with me, great. That's great, right? We want to enjoy and have fun with stuff. But if you're mad that I'm not pushing your agenda, you know, kick rocks. Like, you know, it's like I had to basically tell them, like, bro, like, I hear you. So just to end what I'm saying with that is just, I'm sure it was like noble reasons that the whole Netflix movement started, but what it's become today, if y'all look on your timeline, y'all see how disgruntled people are when we see the evidence of Zack Snyder with the Saudis. Zack Snyder posts this dude like every few months, or he posts him. So is it about Zack? And this is what I said months ago, but when they got mad at me, is it about Zack, or is it about your trending events?
100%. No, 100%. Look, I'll say this also to add to what you just stated, because what you said is all facts. I'll even go further and say this. I know there's still some that I guess rep that hashtag, or that were part of, you know, felt that that was maybe what they thought was the better movement or better move, not movement, but move.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's some of you guys that it were incorporated with that, I guess you could say, and y'all are good. Like it's not all you guys.
No.
But you know who you are when I say you guys were moving shiesty out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know who you are. You know what I mean? And I mean hella shiesty because it was like it was just like it was weird, uncalled for, and like you said, the reality is that even now you're moving and acting like those that were stuck on like back when it was a hashtag release the Snyder, but all of a sudden there were those that were trying to like, oh no, it's no longer that, it's this. And I'm trying to remember, I can't remember what the other
Us United.
Yeah, there you go. Us United. You know, and all of a sudden it was like
right in the middle of that. Yeah.
It was like, wait, why
that.
are we switching? Like what? Like that, it just made no sense. But it was like, all right, whatever. And look, some people use both. And again, it's just the fact that you a lot of you guys are now acting like those that were salty about not everybody rocking with Us United, because just on, I guess you could say, on a practical level, everybody felt like hashtag release the Snyder Cut got us here. Why are we switching up now? Logically, we made a decision. Practically, we made a decision. And there were those that were part of this whole Us United thing that felt some type of way. And then all of a sudden there was just this like back and forth thing, you know? And it's like the same thing here. It was like, oh, it has to be hashtag sell the Snyderverse to Netflix, or hashtag Zack Snyder's Justice League on Netflix, which was even like, you guys even took it a step further than Us United, right? Let's even, like, I'm gonna even say that clear right now.
That's true.
Because at least Us United only came up with one more hashtag, meaning if you still wanted to use release the Snyder Cut, it's still available to the algorithms. You guys awkwardly got so like caught in this possessive, like, again, feeling this need to like create this wedge to separate from that which was already established, that you went and created two different hashtags so that you would have which the second one didn't even make sense. Because if the Snyderverse is going to be on Netflix, obviously Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be on Netflix. So why do I have to do hashtag Zack Snyder's Justice League on Netflix? Like, that's how petty it got. It was like, it was weird. It was just weird. Let's call it as it is. It was weird. It was like, you're like, whatever.
I knew they went too far. Well, I knew they went too far a long time ago. Like I said, when I looked into the whole Netflix angle, and I was just like, I'm not going to lead people down this path, knowingly, you know, not seeing, because this is what people don't understand. This whole Netflix buying Warner Brothers thing, this was like out of left field. Like, Scott, because again, a couple years ago, when Scott Stuber was with Netflix, that's why I say I think we all was rocking with, hey, maybe Netflix could be an angle.
Well,
but when that changed,
like you said, that's when that actually came up. Back when you were covering it, that's when that concept came up. The whole sell the Snyderverse to Netflix. Yeah. That's when that came up.
Yeah,
and then they just kept with it, which is fine again because it made sense at the time.
Yeah,
but then it just got weird.
Yeah,
it just got weird because it was like, all right, well, that kind of fell through the cracks, you know, the whatever was going to happen then. And like, all right, we're still talking about it. Okay, somewhat makes sense, I guess. Zack Snyder's there, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
The concept of it,
the concept of it's not wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's just where it went is my whole point. You know what I'm saying? It's where it went because, like, you know, one, you shed light on a lot of, obviously, where, for those who don't know, I guess, what was happening behind the scenes and things like that. But and actually, let me, just for context here, for people to understand, and you know, not to toot my own horn here, because it might sound like I'm doing this, but the reality is I still, like, you could actually speak on this. Have you and me actually ever talked about this outside of this conversation we're having now?
No, I the funny thing with this, when you mentioned you made that song, and this was the song, the latest song you made was probably 2 years ago now, almost. over a year ago.
Maybe over a year ago.
Over a year ago. I'll say over a year. I went too far with it. It was
It was
probably like early 2025.
Yeah, early 2025. Yeah.
And this was after that whole, I had that little split with, again, I look at it like, they came from Still Nations. They're kind of like my sons, right? They're just strange children. These are strange children that just left. So it's like, oh, that's doing good. They doing good. They doing videos and stuff. Like that's why like my kids. But but so it's like you made that song, and because the funny thing with that is that I sent you that beat probably 2 years ago.
Yes, I had that beat for over 2 years.
And I knew you was you're a true artist. If people don't know, Vega, I link his stuff under my videos all the time. Like he's a true artist. So I'm like, I'm not gonna bother him about it. But I know you could do something hot with this, right? And so you finally sent me the song.
Yep.
And when you got to the end, we was like, when them niggas go flip flop, I was like, and I never brought it up to you though. We talked about the song, and I was like, that was cool. You kind of put stuff, of my journey in there. And he was like, I've been watching. He's like, I'm a watchman.
Exactly. Watching forever vigilant. You know what I'm saying? I'm a watchman forever vigilant. Steady watching and listening. Come on, man.
I'm just saying. So that, but like I said, we didn't have to speak on it because I think, at that time, we've been through this again with the release of Snyder Cut, and Peely could speak to this after that event, that trending event in November 2019, everything split up after that.
Look at that.
Right?
Got the homie Peely in the comment section.
Peely in the chat. Like everything split. I mean, he told me about that, how that happened, where everything splinter off. And I was like, man, I told the Self Movement in a private chat, I was like, I see where this is going, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to get away from my clapback Saturdays and stuff. Like I'm trying to do that all the time, right? Like my family be watching my stuff. I was like, I don't want, I don't want my family finding my video. I'm sitting there cussing out the Self Movement. And I'm like, I gotta chill a little bit, So I was like, but I told them privately, I was like, bro, like I know the fandom don't want to see this. Like people will personally message me. They was like, Sil, there's like, we see what the Self Movement is doing. Like, Sil, please don't destroy them. Like they was like, don't destroy these dudes. And I was like, man, like, I'm trying not, I wasn't trying to. And again, and then with Mikey's family and everything like that, and I was like, I'm gonna chill. I was like, I'm just gonna chill. Because if anyone believed the nonsense they were saying, then I hope they leave my platform. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I hope y'all go over there with the belligerent kids.
No, and that's important because like not only have we not spoken about this, but that's facts. Like it's not like you actually address this to anybody in public. Like everything that I witnessed was just observational. Right, watch me forever vigilant. Just watching the way people are moving. And look, at the time, I'm tuning into them because like I'm still trying to support what I think they're doing. That's just right. And then when I'm tuning in and hearing just like this reckless talk, I'm like, what the hell?
Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing here? And here's the thing. Like, I'm not one to go back and forth. Online. Right. You're not gonna like look. I'm not a keyboard gangster. That like catch me outside. You know what I'm saying? Catch me outside and we'll talk business. But I'm not a keyboard gangster, so I'm not about to like oh how dare you? Like I'm not gonna do all that. Like look, hey, and look if you a keyboard gangster, hey, kudos to you guys. Like somebody got to hold the front lines on the online world. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not me. I got things to do. Look, I like you said, so this technically at this point is still just a hobby.
This ain't real life, right? I mean,
I got other things I got to do.
I met some real people, you know what I'm saying, some cool people, but like this ain't real life. When I turn this off, like I go and do what I really do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like I said, it's all that to say that what I'm trying to point out is that you were as humble as you could be throughout this process. What I'm trying to get at. Like you would slightly touch on some things, but like not in a disrespectful way, but just to clear the record.
Oh yeah,
that was always where you stood with things, like just to clear the record.
I only did one stream, and it's not even on YouTube. I did a Twitter stream because that's where a lot of the talk was coming from.
That's where a lot of it was at. Right?
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to do that. And I mean, yeah, my Twitter's monetized. So, it was a pretty good stream, doing some drama streams. But I try to get away from drama streams. But so, yeah, I purposely, and again, because a lot of the stuff, they was throwing stuff about Mikey. And I was like, bro, like, I'm not going to sit here, go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Concerning Mikey's son, like, his family is like among us, man. Like they,
Yes.
So I promised them I wasn't going to, so I didn't put it on YouTube. I addressed it on Twitter and I left it alone actually. And I know they continued, they tried to, get their clicks and stuff off of that. And it's like, I get it. Like I said, y'all, my offspring, so I get it. But
Poppy still.
Just saying,
Poppy still.
Like I know, y'all left the protection of the home. So y'all do y'all thing. Y'all gotta mention me. But but I'm glad I took that approach because, like I said, I know how crazy it would have got early on.
Right.
With that, and again with connection with Mikey Sutton. That was the unfortunate thing that they tried to push that whole thing of it's just nah, bro. That wasn't the move. And again, was lost in all this. Why did I start doing this? Because the Snyder Cut was coming out. Like I started my channel after the Snyder Cut was announced. With Henry Cavill and the Vero everything stream. So that made me want to just be like, oh, let me just kind of follow everything that's going on and get with like-minded people. Right. When it becomes something other than that, then it's like, no, that ain't the move. And with them now, it's like with this Netflix thing, my goodness, God forbid if Netflix would have actually got Warner Brothers, how unbearable they would have been. They're already beyond unbearable to the point where it's not even about Zach anymore. And that was my whole point to them. Was if it's not about Zach doing more, and Peely put out a video recently of talking about that.
Right. We didn't circle back to that video, but that's right.
Yeah, that's like then what are we doing, man? That's the tie that connects all this 100%. Is more Snyderverse. And Zach just said today in that interview, he was like, I'm never going to tell him to stop pushing forward. So this is the push going forward. Not it has to be on Paramount. No, there's a better option. It could be Comcast. It could be whatever. I'll take it on Tubi. You know what I'm saying? But if the better option's out there, I'd rather the better option. That's all.
100%. No, 100%. And actually on that note, I'm going to see if I can find that clip. Because we got to talk about that. That's essentially where we got to go with it. Or actually, I'll say this to then get into that. Essentially, Mr. That's what it appeared like.
Oh, for sure.
Honest with you. That's what it appeared like.
Just like we talk about with the original Lisa Snyder Cut. That's what it became. Cloud chasing that divided people. Yeah,
and again, like it's like Peely said, like the way you guys are moving right now, the way you guys are reacting to the latest news it exposed you guys.
Yep,
it exposed you guys. And look, here's the thing: I didn't want it to be that. I didn't want it to be that for you guys, but you guys did it to yourselves. You guys did it to yourselves. The way you guys are acting right now. You know what I mean? Like you made it about you, about what you're doing, about what you said. But that lies on you. And look, here's the reality. Even if it's not about the cloud chasing, let me dial it back a bit. But just to keep it a buck with y'all, the reason y'all feeling some type of way is because you guys put so much energy into this weird behavior, into this weird conflict. About this whole situation that you guys feel you got to feel some type of way about this. And here's the reality. You don't. Let me free you guys. Let me free you guys of that notion. You guys don't have to feel salty about anything. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares?
Hey, your hashtag didn't work. Okay. Let's move on. It's Paramount now, guys. If you're really about the Zack Snyder stuff, let's get to it. Period. And I'll end that on that. But still, let's talk about everything with the Paramount thing that you believe gives Zack Snyder more likeliness to do JL2 and all that stuff. What do you think are the factors there that are playing into that? Well, it's only to compare it to again the Netflix angle, because again, I always preface it with this, that if Scott Stuber was still at Netflix, then I would feel much better about more Snyderverse at Netflix. Now that's changed, and we saw his different quotes. Ted Sarandos was like, basically we know when to pull back spending money. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about the question was asked about Russo's and Snyder, and Sarandos was more like, yeah, we ain't got to spend that type of money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, if that's, and then we hear about the projects that's not happening, or we're not hearing anything from Netflix. So when I can compare it to Paramount, ultimately, yes, I will rather theaters. I was one of the few people that watched Zack Snyder's Justice League in IMAX when I went to Full Circle a couple years ago. And so everyone should experience that. Like just the moment, the Justice League moment at the end when Batman's in the Batmobile and the Justice League is flying all around him, and that moment pauses to see that in IMAX. I'm like, everyone should experience this. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy. And then you get the Oscar moment with Flash, turning back time. Insane, right? Insane. So Paramount I just feel they can give us a better option at theaters. That's one thing. And that's just on the surface. And then when the Paramount deal leaked, why I jumped on the Paramount train, right, on my platforms is that the Paramount deal leaked before they even offered it to Warner Bros. Officially. And it showed, the different investors they got involved. Then it showed those sovereign nations, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and the Arab nations, and the Saudis, specifically the unit that Turki Al-Sheikh works with. Turki Al-Sheikh is Zack Snyder's is like his best friend in the world. It seems like it. He's always posting pictures about Zack Snyder. He's the one that signed on Zack Snyder and Stone Quarry for the Brawler film. Right. So it's like that's that business connection. In the press release, when Turki Al-Sheikh announced the Brawler film, he lists all the stuff that Zack Snyder did with DC and said Zack Snyder's Justice League is a global phenomenon, and so everything involved. So I'm like, okay, you got a friend in the industry, and Saudi, if people know about this, there's Arab money right now. Like they're getting into sports,
Arab money,
and all this stuff, bro. Like
Arab money.
They are in it. So it's like Zack Snyder has that connection there,
right?
Then they are a part of the investment team to have a minority stake in Paramount, meaning they will have a minority stake in Warner Brothers. And the clincher is that in that leaked deal, the terms of the contract is the sovereign nations will be able to pick one IP that they will want to use from Warner Brothers.
Right.
One IP, and they will be able to shoot the film out there if they need to, do a premiere out there. I'm just like, bro, because I was like, this is unreal that this is actually a term of the contract that they can pick any IP they want, and this dude's rocking with Zack Snyder all the time. And he says how much Justice League is great that Zack Snyder did. So I'm like, bro, this is literally the connection to get more Zack Snyder Justice League and in theaters.
Yes, sir.
So I was 100%. I was like, okay, this is Paramount,
100%,
right? And
100%.
And it's like if Netflix, if at the very least, if Netflix still has Scott Stuber and Zack Snyder was getting his Rebel Moon follow-ups and his Armyverse follow-ups and LA SWAT. It's a story that came out that Netflix denied Zack doing LA SWAT. They didn't want to pay him $100 million for the production. That's a very low number comparably, right? $100 million?
Right.
You won't let Zack Snyder cook with that? So all indication, and I don't see the Cell dudes even talking about that. It's like they rejected Zack Snyder. And he had to go do something else. So yeah,
that's the whole point. It's like when I said you guys couldn't even. Yeah, you know that, right?
Tommy Good.
Tommy Good. Every done. Every done.
Exactly. Because I'm gonna really keep it a buck. This is a chop shop.
Right.
Any platform y'all got out there, it's because you was amongst me and the late great Mikey Sutton. So let's keep that real, like just that. It's unspoken things as men, right? That you don't cross that line if someone puts you on.
100%.
So all of y'all, and I'm saying every single person. Now, some of y'all got some second generation dudes I really don't know. Y'all really goofy. I really don't know y'all like that. But the main base of people that felt like they had to say something about Sil Abdul and his platform when I introduced y'all to Mikey Sutton, like y'all gonna go to y'all grave with that. I'm gonna be quite honest with that. There's no respect.
Right.
As a man, I would never have more. And even after that, I still said, let's squash this behind the scenes because the fandom didn't want to see that.
Right.
But y'all wanted to show y'all tails and want the fandom to see that. Now, I'm a very patient person. Mm-hmm. So I had a good feeling how this was going to end. Mm-hmm. Now that it's ended, I made a mistake saying that the Cell Snyderverse was the first Snyder hashtag that evaporated. It actually was Us United was first, but y'all are second. Y'all didn't realize the history, and now y'all in the wrong side of history. That's right. Y'all are going to be a footnote going forward because it's just certain things y'all shouldn't do, and I don't really believe in karma and nothing like that, but just respect as a man. I have no respect for just how y'all been moving, and now y'all kind of getting what y'all getting because the hashtag flop. So
no, look, you said it right. This is one of the things that did bother me the most. It's just that it was like you backstabbed the guy who essentially gave you a platform, and then you think you're, and here's not even this. Here's the thing, and it's like Neo 7 said, or Marcus, they exploded Mikey's name, right?
Yeah.
So they covered themselves, with Mikey's name. Yeah. They come at you, they backstab you and come at you and cover themselves behind Mikey Sutton's name once he's passed. Like, it just can't respect that. It just can't respect that. It's crazy.
That's like I said,
and these are, and I'll say this is to who you are when we're saying this, right? Because this isn't everybody who was on, like you said, like the second gen.
Them second gen, they have some really goofy dudes out there. They're foot soldiers now. Like y'all just
or the attached, regimen, right? Because it's like, and again, and here's the thing. I might even not even. Like, you said that there's people that were in some sort of like, deal or not deal, but like some sort of talks about something with with Mikey Son and other stuff. So it might be other guys that I don't even know that I'm not even considering. Because there's the people in my mind that I'm thinking about when I'm saying like who you are.
Well, the core of the people.
The core, right?
Yeah.
But there's other people that again like they kind of affiliated themselves with that.
Yeah, they just goofy
of hashtags of the Snyderverse and all that stuff, and then somehow, on something like Mob Deep joining G Unit acquire the beef, saying that's going on with G Unit.
One of them jumped my thread. And I'm just like, son, I don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like what is
bro,
going on?
This ain't beef. Like you just goofy, bro.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Well, they said you did this. I'm like, well, to tell them to shut up and you shut up too. Like that's what. Like what are you talking about, bro? Going off with another again. That's all. It's the only way I could deal with that is that. Just again, at the end of the day, just as a man, it's like, bro, it's certain things I'm really not going to cross the line with where it's like, again, if someone gave you exposure and I never asked for like, give me credit, but I'm saying just like the principle of it. It's like, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not even about the credit. It's just that they went out of their way to come at you and make it seem like you were the enemy or something like that, or that you were some sort of like, evil conspirator or something. Like it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just weird movement. It's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And
I like that. I moved the same way I've been moving since I started with my platform. And if it's something I don't like, I'll say it. But if it's if I have an approach with something, there's no evil conspiracy behind it. It's just like, bro, like. You rock how you want to rock, like
right.
I think the whole time, they thought I really wanted to like adopt him or something. Like, I don't know.
Right? No, that was what's weird, right? And a few people even tried to paint that narrative, and I'm like, look, guys, like everybody's entitled to their own opinion of thought. All because we agreed on one thing doesn't mean we have to agree on the other thing. And the fact that there's like some difference of opinion and something like it doesn't mean that there's some sort of like, I gotta take you down now. It was just weird. It was just weird. It's just weird. You know what I mean? Because look. So even me and you, we don't agree on everything.
We disagree all the time.
We disagree all the time on a lot of things, right? And does that mean like all of a sudden we're enemies?
We got a gun. I got a gun for Vega now. Like,
right, like what?
I gotta write some bars, to go at me. It's like, no.
Let me just make it clear. Anybody who want that smoke, you don't want that smoke. Let me just say that. You don't want that smoke.
Vega was cool. When I said bars, he's like, hold up. I do this, okay?
let me just set the record straight. Anybody who thinks they want that smoke, you don't want that smoke. You know what's funny? I don't know if you remember. One of the episodes we were talking about one of the songs, somebody got on the comment section and started writing bars. And I'm like, what the hell? It was just weird. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here?
They want you to freestyle?
Yeah, they were like, all right.
Do you want this?
Like, which I always found that weird. The guys that like try and spit bars and on like typing it out. It's like, bro, nobody cares about what you're typing out as bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
He was coming at your head, wasn't he?
He was like trying to cover me. Like, come on, man.
They string about my shoes. I'm like, dang, bro, like, is that?
Oh, wow.
My thing is that, bro, and this is just my philosophy in life. I'm gonna be just really honest. This may free a lot of people out there, but don't go around every day, catering to other people. If I want to wear some comfortable shoes, I'm gonna wear some comfortable shoes.
100%.
And I'm gonna go out to California, and I did numbers meeting Zack Snyder. That video's still on my channel. So I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't care. Like, and I'm gonna be honest, it's like if we're just gonna get really just, I really don't care what women say about me. I'm just really honest.
100%.
I'm just really, because if a dude say, "Oh, I don't like your clothes," and I don't like it, I really don't care, bro. I really don't. I'm not scanning you and saying, "Oh, I wish I had his," forehead.
It's kind of weird that you're scanning.
Like, it's like, bro. Now, if a female did, I actually would have hurt my feelings. If a female said, "I don't like your shoes," I'm like, dang, I would have felt some kind of way about that. But it's supposed to be grown men. I really don't care about y'all opinions. I thought y'all would know this.
That's what makes it even funnier, is because it's like, how weird is it that you guys were paying attention to this kind of stuff? Like, you made a mental note of this preemptively, so that when the time came, that was somehow a shot in your
I don't like your shoes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
what it comes down to,
that's crazy.
I was their hero. Okay, like I said, like they looked up. They probably idol worshiped me. I don't know. Like, it's like, and so when I went out there to California, and when they were just being all goofy, like, oh, how can I become an influencer? This is real stuff people was asking me. I was like, man, y'all goofy, man. I was like, just be yourself, man. Like, I don't, right now I don't feel like talking to you. That's how the energy I was giving up. Like, bro, I'm just out here. I'm trying to be Zack Snyder, bro. Like, I ain't really, like, you know what I'm saying? I really don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like we cool, but you on this fanboy stuff, and maybe what was in that movie? What was that? Was that in Incredibles? Where the dude got his feelings hurt, his hero hurt his feelings, and he became a super villain.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the energy they gave me. Like, oh, I was their hero. I come out there, and they're just like, oh, you're supposed to, embrace me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I really don't care. Like, if you cool, you cool, but I'm not out here to like be your hero, bro.
Right, I can't be your hero.
So it's like, that's when things kind of turn, when I was just like, you're my son. Like, no, I didn't treat him like that. I was like, bro, you a grown man. I'm looking for Zack Snyder. We're trying it's about Zack.
That's
and so that's just what it was.
I didn't even know anything about that shoot thing. That's actually kind of
funny. They did like a whole thing like that. I'm just like, bro, like, I didn't. Okay. And again, and this is just coming from my community, the Black American community, we snap on each other all the time. So like, that was nothing.
So that's nothing.
That was nothing. Like, what do you, again, a female, it would hurt me more for like, oh, is this bad female? She's like, oh, I don't like how you dress. I'm like, dang. That would have took me down. Like, it would took me out. But just these weird dudes is like, oh, I scanned everything about you, and I don't. Get
that's like I said, that's just weird, because it's like, that means you guys had that premeditated. You guys locked that in your head and thought or at the very least, what that also tells me is like they already had that thought about you at that moment. That's what's even sadder.
Yeah. They was like, this my hero, but I don't like his shoes.
But I don't like his shoes.
Like, that's what.
Shoes right on, dog. I don't know if I can rock with this guy
I'm
anymore.
gonna store that in the back of my head. I'm like, he better put me on. He better put me on, or I'm gonna cut up his shoes. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's actually, you know what? Actually, you know what? You know what?
Yeah.
I think we figured it out.
Let's be real.
It was those shoes, dog. That's what happened.
These niggas lame, okay? I saw it up close and personal, okay? All y'all lame, okay? This is, I held off from saying this, but just my impression of y'all, all y'all lame, okay? So it's like, just bro. So ain't nothing you can say about me, bro. Hey, it is what it is. But
they saw those sneakers and they're like, yeah,
that's what did it.
That's what did it, bro. They saw it. You messed with the head. They saw them sneakers and they're like, he's not who we thought he was.
Can't resist. He's supposed to be a male
the
model. If he don't put me on, I'm cutting up these sneakers. That's lame. That's lame, bro.
For sure. No. You know what? Hey,
it is what it is.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, the core, y'all know who you are.
Oh yeah.
The rest of you guys, don't get hung up on this stuff. Do yourself a favor. Do not get hung up on this.
And hey, you can, obviously Vegas gonna speak for himself. You are welcome to get hung up on it with me because, like, I don't care. That's the point.
I mean, look, you do what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? For your own mental health, do yourself the favor. But for your own emotional health, do yourself the favor.
Last thing I will say, because I gave. This is why I didn't speak about them when all this was happening, because it just it makes them more relevant than they need to be. But because we're touching on this Netflix thing, that's why we're talking about it. But last thing I will say, because you got the core people, the people around them. Be very careful if you don't know the full story about situation. This is a life lesson for some of y'all. Because again, I consider some of them my children, like just the way they think. Consider, as I always told y'all, consider the source on my channel. I always told y'all, consider the source. And y'all made the grand mistake not considering the source when you hear something about. And I wasn't gonna sit there and correct it. I was like, whoever is on that type of time, I hope they go over there. Because I don't need you around me because you didn't consider the information you was heard as an adult. All right. I'm dealing with all adults. So if that takes you out, you're where you're supposed to be. Now, guaranteed you're going to be taken advantage of, or, something's going to happen around them or someone else because of how you move. So that's just my last thing with that. They know who they are and they're where they need to be.
Peely said it right. Look, me and Peely, we met up in Charleston. Hell if I remember what the guy was wearing. And he clearly doesn't remember what I was wearing. That's crazy.
That's lame.
This is insane. You know what I'm saying? Like what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like
it's lame. But and again, it's like I take things like I always look at life like, when things happen, it's like, I don't believe everything happens for a reason, but my point is, if that's what it took to kind of get y'all away from me, I'm glad that happened because y'all lame.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's
again,
what you're built like. Right. I'm glad like that stumbled you somehow where you're like, oh, I'm going to go do a dumbass hashtag that's not going to succeed away from me. Because when they thought they were winning this Netflix thing, they were sending their little burners after me saying, oh, Sir Abdul, if you would have kept on code with Netflix, you would have been a national hero right now. I'm like, bro, like,
but again, as if that's what it's about. As if that's what just lets you know, like, you guys.
It's not about Zach.
It's not about Zach. You guys are making it up. You guys are making it seem like it's about him, but you guys are essentially revealing what you guys really think about, and that's yourselves. So you think he's thinking the way you guys think.
Right.
That's essentially what's happening.
And it's saying I'm built so differently where it's just like, bro, like, hey, whatever you need to stumble over to get away from me, do that.
Hey, Mr. J might be onto something. Maybe you needed to have a bowl of cereal with that. you needed to take out the bowl of cereal, pour out your, Cocoa Pebbles and
bro. I'm just saying, hey, right. And it's a reason why me and Vega never talked about this before. Because I think I know we have the respect of the fandom overall. And with them being Snyder fans, it's like I don't like the whole Snyder fan on Snyder fan action.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I did go with someone a couple months ago, but it was a reason for that. But
Right.
but it was like I don't like the whole, you know, Snyder fans
No, me
fighting
neither.
Snyder fans. You
Me
know what I'm
neither.
saying? So I know it never was a good look. People personally, like I said, hit me up and it's like, still don't make this like a clapback session. Like, please don't do that. You know, and out of respect of Mikey's family, that's why I chilled. It is what it is now, right? And just what's going on now with the fandom is shifting towards that Paramount energy, the Saudis.
Yep.
And you know, that's what we're on right now. And you know, Netflix is a nice platform. I watch Netflix all the time, but they're not restoring the Snyderverse. That's all.
That's all. Look, and again, it's like you said, it's all about. We were all on board with this because of Zach, right? Period.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think again, just the point being made is that there's no way you can say that Paramount wasn't the better option. Period. There's just no way you can think that. You might have other like biases, maybe politically, maybe
that could be an angle, not with them, but yeah, there's angles out there.
No, I'm saying like because like look, I've seen look. I'll put it. I'm going to mention this guy by name because I actually respect this guy. I think at heart he's a good guy. He was one of those guys that I think was more leaning towards Netflix.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong here too. Like again, here's the thing. I'm not all day on Twitter to know who's beefing with who. I just saw what I saw when I saw it, and that's how I caught wind that okay, people are moving sideways. But with this guy I'm about to mention, and again, maybe there was beef there too. I don't know. So, and if there was, let me know. I guess. I mean, not that you know.
It is what it is.
I'll just say this. But for instance, the Bad Channel, right? He put out a video there of good arguments, I guess you could say, towards the Netflix Paramount options, you know. And not that this was necessarily his standpoint, but he was pointing. He went out of his way to point out just different aspects of the deals in both directions.
Right.
So I know that. So all that to say, I know that the political angle, if that's your argument to why you don't like whatever, then that's different, and that's another conversation that could be had. And that's not what we're talking about here. As far as we're
it's never about politics.
It's never about politics. Personally, in my opinion. Matter of fact, here's the reality: cash rules everything around me. That's why this is called money talk, and that's what this is about. So, in the end of the day, Paramount offered $111 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they did. All right, and that's why we're here. $31 a share. It just speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? They bought the whole thing. They took the whole. You know what I'm saying? The house, the garage, and everything inside the house and in the garage. That's what they did here. Okay. But to move on to the last segment. And what we're really here to talk about.
I thought that was the main.
You would think.
But final thing though, before we move from Paramount, just because I'm in the middle of doing like a video series of understanding the Paramount deal. I mean, there could be some pros and cons, and I get that, but if you're hung up on the politics side of this, I just challenge anyone. Just what's Paramount's movie slate coming up this next year, and this could be rhetorical for a lot of people, but my point is just these politics people. Yeah. What films are they making coming up this next year? What films have the Ellisons? They were ahead of Skydance for like a decade.
Right.
What films have they produced up to this point? Right. Why do you think that's going to change?
Right.
Now, when they had power over films over a decade, like 15 years, I believe, why do you think it's going to become, MAGA central, basically?
Exactly.
And I'm just going to leave it at that. Cause like I said, I think
that's a solid point.
Cause me and Vega have had several conversations, how we kind of look at how both sides be moving sometimes. And I have my opinions about it. I don't choose my entertain because like if a CEO has a certain religious belief, oh, I don't want to watch any films. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that's what this is becoming, and so I'll just leave it at that. But if this is because I really just wanted Netflix to get it, so now I just want to be mad about something, then that's what it is. So yeah, I was leaving
No, that was a good point. And again, the reality is even just apart from the movies, let's just just to kind of even further in that point that you're making. If you think politics is somehow going to play a part in this and somehow it's going to become MAGA central, even now, right? Where what is it? Don't be so easily like manipulated into thinking these things. Even now, right? This idea, like what CBS, right, is the I guess where people are thinking that forgive my brain is not. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the actual thing that transpired there. But the reality is even when it comes to their news, nothing's changed. They're still now all they're doing now. Actually, no, I won't say nothing's changed. Maybe you have a problem with a news place that's trying to find the middle ground in a lot of these situations and have unbiased leanings. If that's what you're concerned with, well, then sorry, that did happen, but that's not you can't say that they've been biasedly leaning in a direction, because trust me, they still take their shots at Trump.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying?
Have people and the last thing, because again, I know I don't want to make this a thing, but I would love for people to say, it's about CNN, right? So they're going to make CNN. They're going to make CNN like a certain way. Like what certain way? You're saying like Fox News? Like right. What I'm saying is that it already exists. So even if it's more of the same, or like you said, is it more towards the center? I mean, CNN, they have panels where they try to have different viewpoints. It gets kind of crazy by the moderator, but I have my own personal things about that. But my point is that this ain't the end of the world, y'all. Y'all don't even watch CNN, okay? Y'all don't even watch it. So, but that's your main thing. And last final thing, they were like, when a merger happens, people are going to lose their jobs. This happens every merger. You got execs, they're getting tens of millions of dollars. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for them. I'm sorry. I don't. They're linked up and networked with people. They're going to be just fine. All of a sudden, you want to ride for Warner Brothers execs that you've hated your entire existence. Now you don't want them to lose their job because they didn't go to Netflix. Come on, man. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that, man. It's insane out there.
All right.
It's insane out there. Now you want to save Warner Brothers jobs. Okay.
Right. No.
Come on, man. We don't believe you. We
still don't trust you. We still don't trust you.
You went there with it. He brought it to current like that. I would go far back.
I'm dead. All right. All that being said, we both agree Zack Snyder's best bet for anything he does, for that matter, but obviously revolving more so the Snyderverse and things of that nature, is for sure paramount. And I think it's safe to say Zack Snyder knows that. And I think that's why he's been as aggressive as he's been on IG, period. And we talked about that the last time. There's a reason he's going this hard. Either he's in on the know on either one side of the discussion, whether like he has some sort of insight on the Paramount and what's happening there, whether it's that maybe it's the Netflix angle, or whether it's just that he's realizing this is an opportunity to remind whoever's about to acquire this IP that this is really where the heat is at. And but just seeing how this all played out, I'm convinced I'm convinced his Saudi connections and told him we're gonna be relentless on this. So
Bro.
keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost convinced still
I feel that
that's what's happening here.
I feel that. I think you look at this entire situation where we said it feels like it was kind of a fix where, you know, Netflix is kind of acting like they want it, but they're gonna get their payout.
Right.
And Paramount said we're going to do a hostile no matter what.
Right.
And so maybe they kind of, you know, Zaslav kind of judo tricked him for a second, but Zack Snyder looking at that saying, okay, Paramount's not going to stop until they get this.
Right.
And my boy is a minority investor. Well, he's part of the team. Because people say, oh, is it really Turkey al-Sheikh? He runs all the entertainment in Saudi Arabia. So just look it up. We got the time. We're in the days of Google and AI, and people still can't look up stuff. Like, what's this man's? Like, he does all the entertainment for Saudi Arabia, okay? So when I say the Saudis, I mean him, because that's how it's going to happen. So anyway, but I think Zach was like, okay, his boy was telling him they're going to go all out.
I think so too. Yeah.
The Saudis already put their money into it. Then it leaked out. That's when, like I said, that's when I was like, oh, I was like, this is how it's going to happen, y'all.
Yeah.
With this right here.
Yeah.
And then they can pick whatever IP they want, and they're going to pick Zack Snyder. So I think, like you said, Zack started his IG, what was it, like September, October last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when these bids started being discussed. It hit a crescendo in December, and Zach just kept posting, like no matter what's happened, knowing that, again, I believe Paramount and his boy, the Saudis, was like, we're going to do whatever it takes to win this. And the engagement that you're getting is showing how hot your DC still is. BVS is 10 years old, y'all.
Right.
That's the last time Zach did a DC theatrical film, and we're still talking about it. What other film from 2016 are we still talking about? I don't know. I'm just rhetorical. I don't know.
It is. It's a rhetorical question.
That's how hot Zack Snyder and DC is still hot because of that. And I'm 100% with the sides. I'm ready for this to happen because I believe this is the best way that it can happen.
100%
for Zach. Like, that's what I'm saying. This for Zach.
For Zach, yeah. For Zach, for you, if you're a DC fan, if you like his stuff, for you, this is the move. You know, but look, I'm obviously going down his page, so you can see how much he's been going hard with this stuff. You know, with his DC. Look at that. This is like, you know, he's been going hard, you know. So there's just no way. There's no way he didn't know. He knew. His buddy told him, like, hey, putting money on this, we're going all in. We're going all in. All bets are off. And he said, all right, bet. I'm going crazy on IG.
Zach's like, okay, hold this.
Right, hold this real quick. Look at that.
The amounts of Henry Cavill, that's what's really, because you already know Batman was going to pop. Batfleck is always going to pop.
He's always going to pop. But this right here.
You keep putting Henry Cavill Superman, you know, that speaks to something. He just did one this past week. That's his boy Turkey al-Sheikh right there in the middle there. It's like you say, his boy's like, yo.
hey, low key. Maybe I'm crazy for saying this. Tell me this guy does not look like Buddy he used to be part of, or not part of, he's technically what assumed still is. Peely, help me out here because I can't remember his name. Was it Ahmad?
Oh, I talking about the Snyder fan. Hamad.
Yeah, tell me that doesn't look like Ahmad. That man. Like they're related.
That dude actually looked just like him, man.
I swear, I think that was Ahmad the whole time. I think Ahmad was Turkey al-Sheikh the whole time.
Hey, shout out to Ahmad. He was one of the early Snyder fans, OGs that showed me love, and like I said, that built the foundation of what my platform did. So yeah, that was straight up like him. That showed. That's crazy. That's wild. But I mean, because like I said, with the fandom, Zach knows what he's doing. And this is what you got the antis. They're getting so nervous when Zach, you know what I'm saying, like post stuff and we're talking about it on social media. They don't realize in 2018, 2019, we just had some Vero posts. And we were just like, I think this means something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Zach keeps feeding us. And Zach even admitted, he said, no, like the fandom, y'all kept me going. He's like, y'all kept pumping it. So I'm going to get you another picture. You know what I'm saying? So if Zach has admitted this and we're years later, okay, he did that dark side picture. What was that? 2018, 2019? And then we had that trending event where Ben Affleck tweeted, release a Snyder Cut, Gal Gadot. And we didn't know he was negotiating with AT&T behind the scenes to release a Snyder Cut, right?
Right.
And so we didn't know until after the fact. And all of a sudden he announces it May of 2020, right? And then in 2021, he did that Crisis Turkey. If you remember that Thanksgiving turkey, right? Yep. And we got the Final Crisis in the background. Okay, what's Zach up to, right? What's he up to with that? And what people don't realize, I realized my link in the chain in this is that's when I started getting my information. That Cavill was coming back, Ben was coming back. It was after the Crisis Turkey. So
that's right. And
it's been confirmed that DeLuca and Abdi of Warner Brothers was going to do one last ride of the Snyderverse if, you know, they kept the Black Adam thing going. And, you know, we understand what fell apart with that.
Yeah.
But that's when I started getting my information. So I'm like, yo, like Zach was teasing something, then information comes out. So now, right? He's on Instagram now, posting something like every week.
Going crazy.
Something has to be happening behind us. As a Snyder fan, if you've been around for at least a release, you got to be probably from the release, the Snyder Cut days. You know something's happening right now. It's just a matter of what's going to happen. When is Zach going to reveal what's happening behind the scenes? And I believe the Saudis are connected. I do.
100%. I mean, look. The reality is it's not, and it's think about this. How about even like the fact that you got like Joe Manganiello posting too, right? Lately, that last post he did, or you know, with the Deathstroke thing, right? Like that tells you something. Who else was one of the other? Was it Gal or
Gal Gadot posted some stuff too? Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
she tagged Zach, or Zach tagged her, and she got active on Instagram. Again, Zach keeps posting Henry Cavill Superman like that. That's because if you would think in this interview that just came out earlier today with Zach, as he's always said, my stuff is separate from whatever DC's doing right now. Right. And this is what I tried to tell people. I think this would make the Cell movie mad at me, but I was like, James Gunn Superman could come out, it could do $1 billion, and Zach will still do DC again. That was my message to people. I was like, yeah, you could pray for the downfall. I mean, it's fun to make fun of James Gunn. I get it.
Right. But
we don't need,
which I will. I will.
We actually don't need him to fail for Zach to do more. That was my point. That was my point, right?
Yeah.
And now James Gunn come out, it did mid, right? It's mid numbers. Netflix told everyone, hey, they cut it short because it didn't do. That's probably why Netflix didn't get Warner Bros. He snitched on Superman. But my point was that Zach can do his DC no matter the circumstances. And he even just said it today on that interview. Hey, James Gunn could do his thing. My DC is so different. And if you've seen Superman, you know it is.
That's right.
That's right. So
that also did happen. That's true.
That's why Man of Steel did better. Man of Steel is still the best solo Superman theatrical performance ever.
100%.
And it may remain. You may never get another Superman film that makes as much as that. The way the box office is now.
Right. No, for sure. And look, for anybody who thinks we're crazy for like still talking about this and holding on to hope, I just got one thing to show you. I just got one thing to show you. So I'm gonna use your page for this because I couldn't find it anywhere else.
The antis, man.
Yeah.
They hurting today.
There were numerous times, dark times, when I would say there is no chance that there will ever be my version of Justice League will never exist. And it can't. Cost, politics, everything stood against it. And yet it exists. And, I think the fans should never forget that they did that. We raised a ton of money for suicide prevention, and they really did a lot of good. And I think that they catch a lot of flack for being toxic or whatever, but they literally saved human lives. So you can go fuck yourself if that's what if you were in
the GOAT director ever.
Come on.
Ever of all time. Does your favorite director say that? Does your favorite director say, yo, you got a problem? And that's why they mad. That's Zack Snyder right now. He's at a phase. He's unbothered. Like that's 100%. That's a state of contentment. He's like, you know what? Like the energy's out there. I can just throw out this engagement. I got the right connections right now. I'm unbothered. Y'all can hate all y'all want. If it's Saudi boys, they get in there and say we want Justice League 2 in theaters, ain't nothing you can do about it. The antis, y'all can't do nothing about it, bro. Right. He potentially has one of his best friends in the industry, a minority stake owner in Warner Brothers, bro. It's over, bro. You serious? But y'all want Netflix.
But y'all want Netflix. Come on,
y'all want Netflix, bro. Come on.
Y'all just gonna pretend like there ain't that A-Rap money. That A-Rap money.
Bro, if people are paying attention to just business, it's global business now. Because I know some of my viewers, and they may come across this, so I want to make sure I ain't being too wild. But it's like, but I know there's some concerns about like, foreign owners of American property. I actually understand. I get that. But just realize it's a minority share. They can't just upheaval the entire establishment.
Right.
They have minority stake. They sign certain terms. So, and again, I get it because there's a lot of America First people. Like I said, I'm not knocking any of that. A lot of people ride with their nation, so there's no problem with that. But this isn't that. This is global business, and people should get used to that. We should already be used to it on the internet here. When we was all locked down, we were streaming. People from UK, you was watching their stuff all through the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't be worried about the foreign money.
Right.
It's actually a newer norm than you think.
That's right.
Globally.
No, 100%. I mean, again, even if I would say this, even if you are on that whole America First thing, whatever type thing, and like that concern of, you have to understand that when it comes to, it isn't like America's all there is. We share the world with other nations, other bodies, other corporations, you know what I'm saying, all over the world, right? Like, so you're too naive if you think that this wasn't bound to happen or that it couldn't happen at a certain, it's already happened. That's the other thing.
With China.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see that he posted that. Crazy. I was just going there. I was just going there. But, exactly, that was my point. Like, China don't have big money in Hollywood already, so like this weird idea that you're afraid of the Saudi minor stakeholder thing, you're fooling yourself. China already has big money in Hollywood and have a lot to do with what happens in Hollywood.
China determines CEO jobs now, because if they don't show up for your film, you're gonna get fired, no matter what country you're from, right? So Sujihara and all them back in the day, they weren't popping enough in China. They got fired. Toby Emmerich fired.
It might get gunned. It might get gunned.
Because they already got his first film. This next film, you coming here with Paramount now. I mean, there's rumors out there. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of this, but saying that Paramount will come in and just fire Gunn. Like they're gonna just slaughter him immediately. And I'm like, I don't know, but Gunn, you better get into China this next film. Your Man of Tomorrow. I'm gonna give you Supergirl's not gonna do good. I talk about a lot of that on my platform, but Man of Tomorrow 2027. If Gunn don't get into China, I think it's over.
I'll be honest. I have my reservations about Supergirl now.
It's not gonna do numbers. No, it's not.
Yeah, I initially thought it was gonna do really well, but the way it's been marketing and the way they marketed it and kind of just seeing the just the overall buzz and trajectory of where he has DC at the moment. It's I don't think it's gonna
That
be
was
it.
the film. If you remember last year, I was excited about Supergirl. I was like, oh, that's gonna be the one, because James Gunn wasn't directing it and he wasn't writing it, right? And so I was like, and they have a pretty good star, Amelia Alcock from Game of Thrones. So I was like, okay, this may be decent, right? Momoa, Lobo, you probably can make some money. Then that first trailer came out, man. I was just like, because if people saw my channel before that, like I was hyping up Supergirl through Superman. I was like, I don't know about Superman. Supergirl can be the one.
Yeah.
And I was like, that trailer didn't do it for me. I was like, this James Gunn notes the crypto peas on the newspaper of Superman. Like, what?
Yep.
Come on, man. Like, we don't need that.
We don't need that. We don't need that. You did enough of that in the Superman movie. You did enough damage to Superman.
Let the director make the movie, because and the reason why I was so high on Supergirl, because I heard about it while they were filming it. And the director wanted to make an anti-hero film. So I was getting like Black Adam vibes from what they were describing to me. I was like, oh, that's why I was like, oh, Supergirl, I'm hearing
which
this.
works more with her than it does Black Adam.
It can. But that trailer is like, nah, she looked like a Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm just like, okay, come on, man, let them make the movie they want to make, man. That's for sure. But hey, Paramount's coming now, so
Paramount's coming. And look, here's the thing. I said this with CeeLo last time we discussed this, and I'm like, look, man, and this was still when it was like the Netflix talk too. But I was like, look, I don't care if Gunn stays. They can do Gunn stuff. They just got to bring Zach back. Though I prefer the Gunn stuff to stop, because I personally, I'm not a fan of anything he's done so far yet. Though I prefer for it to just end and they come in and just give him the boot. I prefer that, but I know that there's people that did like it, so whatever. Like, if they keep him on board and they have something that they can appreciate, like, I guess, like, kudos to them, and kudos to Gunn.
Well, he has to make money. I'm just saying this.
No, right, but they're right. Like all that aside, he has to be. He has these next two, Supergirl and Man of Tomorrow, more importantly, probably have to really do it. So, are they already shooting Man of Tomorrow?
They're gonna start in a couple months.
Is this before Supergirl comes out or after?
It'll be probably right before. It'll be before Supergirl comes out.
Okay, because I'm gonna say if it's after Supergirl comes out, bro, and Supergirl doesn't do well, I don't think they're shooting Man of Tomorrow, bro.
Man, like I said, the pressure's on. Like, and this is another thing too for these Netflix people. James Gunn was safer with Netflix because they don't have theatrical movie people.
That's right.
With Netflix. So I thought like Gunn may have a better chance. With Paramount, I know there's conflicting stories coming out. Like, oh, they say they're going to keep everyone. But Paramount, again, has been recruiting DC creators already before they even got this new bid in.
Right.
And then there's other rumors saying, oh, Gunn's going to be out. I'm not sure how sure that is. But the point is, Paramount's going to have their own ideas. And that's what happens with mergers. So,
right. No, that's right. That's right.
If you got these Netflix people that are saying, oh, they're so anti-gun, Gunn's best chance was with Netflix.
100%. 100%. That was clear to me. And that's why, again, that wasn't, if I'm be honest, that was another reason to why I preferred Paramount. If I'll be honest, because I was like, it wasn't just about the Zach angle for me. Like, it was more for sure the Zach angle, but it was also knowing that they will not hesitate to cut this guy out. You know what I'm saying, and push him out if they have to. Because
and on the same note, because again, I have mixed viewership. Gun fans, they watch my content. They sometimes they talk a little greasy about Zach. I'm like, y'all better chill. Don't come over here chilling about Zach. But I respect what Gunn's trying to do. But the point again, Gunn has to perform. Yeah. That's what's going to determine. Because if he comes out and he goes crazy with Man of Tomorrow, again, a lot of people feel like he's not, but let's say he gets that China audience or whatever, then Paramount, because of business, they're like, okay, Gunn, do it again, Do it again. And let's see what happens,
Right.
when you do it again. So I think Gunn is actually gonna have a fair chance because he needs to perform to stay on. So yeah.
Right. No, that makes sense. Again, we'll see what happens. I mean, still so much time till that moment comes. But again, I don't care if he stays or goes. My main concern is you got to bring Zack Snyder back. The reality is just nothing up to this point compares to what Zack Snyder brought on screen with his version of DC or his story of DC. Nothing, and not even. I say that on a artistic level, nothing compares visually to the spectacle and the epicness of what he brings onto the screen. Nothing compares philosophically, ideologically, through even just the dialogue and the story. And nothing even compares money-wise. Nothing has been as successful as Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, throw in Wonder Woman, throw in David Ayer's Suicide Squad, throw in Aquaman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, the streaming of ZSJL.
And then the streaming of Zack Snyder's Justice League, nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing compares to that yet. From DC's standpoint, from what DC dropped.
For Gunn fans out there, again, I think I've been one of the most fairest people, first off, on this. Being a Snyder fan, knowing the epicness, but realizing I've been through different, Tim Burton Batman, Nolan, Schumacher, so I know different people coming and, it's different versions of these characters. So I get that. Yeah. That's why I gave Gunn a chance. Now, again, it's a mid performance to me. So that's the point I guess I'm making. Is that just it's about the performance and just, if people Gunn needs his BVS. That's my point I was trying to make. He needs that because when Zack came out with Man of Steel, the wonderful Krypton opening sequence and the fight in Smallville and everything that was in Man of Steel, it redefined Superman for our generation. And people was probably divisive, some critics, whatever. It made money. In Hollywood, that's all that matters. You make the money, they're going. Even if it's a trash film like some of those Transformers films, you're making $1 billion. We're gonna make another one until it stops making money. With Transformers First Night, that bombed. Then they was like, okay, Michael Bay, okay, hold on. You can't keep doing this, bro. You only made like $300 million. Get out of here. So with Gunn, he has his Superman, not quite Man of Steel. That second film, he needs his BVS.
Well, the sadder part is that this film was attempting to be more like BVS. You know what I'm saying? His Superman movie was attempting to be more like BVS. So I just don't know what else you can do after that. You know what I mean? Like you tried it and
well, only because he's doing this Lex versus Superman and all these things. And so it's like Gunn, and this is what I said recently. We know the type of film because I try to give it a chance, but we know the type of film that Gunn's going to give us.
Yeah.
We know Gunn's formula by now. We've seen several DC projects now of James Gunn.
Right.
We know what we're getting with Man of Tomorrow. So I think it's going to be over after that. I really do believe that. I really do believe Gunn's going to make that movie and it's going to be time to kind of phase or course correct. What else can Gunn do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else he can pull out of the bag.
You don't think by chance that, and again, I don't know for certain, but let's just say Supergirl bombs. Like it actually bombs. Let's just say it's not that it just underperforms the expectations, but it actually bombs. You actually think that they're going to still roll forward with Man of Tomorrow?
So, and I'll just go off, what I hear with this is that with Supergirl, they are expecting like a Black Adam performance. So you're talking about under 400 million, 300 range or something like that. Now, after I put that out there, and the gun fans got mad at me, and then it came out with an article. They said, "Oh, we only spent $100 million on Supergirl," meaning, their number's probably like 375. That's what they want to make. Now, mind you, I was told the Superman numbers for the Superman 2025. I was told after they shot the film that their number was 500 million, and that was confirmed. Like there's several articles that came out after I said that, because that was the real number. That it was like, we're not expecting a lot. Oh, we got 600 million. Let's throw a party, So to answer this with Supergirl, they already have like a built-in excuse for Supergirl, and they're going to shoot this Man tomorrow. That film's going to get out there. There's just all indications, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I just like, from all we've seen of James Gunn, they announced, okay, longtime DC fans here, y'all. Okay. They announced Brainiac and like
nothing. When it should have been like major, but
Brainiac?
nothing.
Like, y'all remember when we saw Doomsday? They shouldn't have showed him in the trailer, right? For
BTS. Oh, I hate that.
They showed Doomsday, and we was like, oh, Doomsday's in this?
Yeah.
With Brainiac, it was just like a very mute, just okay. No, that's not DC to me, man. That's not DC. That should have broke the internet. Brainiac is in Man of Tomorrow, and it's almost as if no one cares.
Right. No, that's my whole point. That's why I'm like, I don't know, man. That's why I'm like, but if there's already an excuse for the Supergirl, then I guess that is what it is. But I guess in my mind, I'm thinking, if Paramount, is the one in charge by then, and now it's up to them to decide this, I guess that's what I'm thinking. I can see like where they're at now. Maybe that's the status quo.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's a fair point.
You know what I'm saying? But once Paramount takes over, and it's like, we're not accepting this. We're not cool with these kinds of numbers, right? Like whatever excuse that they try to comfort themselves with now at Warner Brothers,
Right. No, that's fair, because
will that fly with Paramount?
When these regimes changes, like sources changes, right? So the information I was getting before DeLuca and Abney was hired is different from the information I got after DeLuca and Abney was hired, right? So, and then Gunn came in, that changes information, and then so when this next regime, when Paramount comes in, realistically, they're trying to get this deal passed, Paramount buying Warner Brothers, by fall,
right? So
this will be after Supergirl comes out. Now, they will be starting to think, okay, 2027, we got to promote Batman Part 2 and Man of Tomorrow, right? That's going to be when they come into the building, they may not even promote as hard. They just want to say, let's just see what you do. Do you see what I'm saying? So so it's like they're going to be coming in a little bit like, they're definitely going to be coming in after Supergirl does whatever it does. And I don't think they're going to make like a rush reaction, because Man of Tomorrow is going to already be in the can then, ready to release next year. So it's the timing of it. I think that's going to benefit Man of Tomorrow just getting out, because, you got to roll with your film schedule, if you're just coming into the building for Warner Brothers. So that's the only reason why I say, okay, they're gonna have the Gunn's gonna have a little chance, because Supergirl's gonna just do whatever. Yeah. There's kind of just like this overlapping period where it's like, okay, they're just moving in, as Mike always say, they're moving their furniture in, with these mergers. Right. And by the time they move in there, then it's like, okay, we need to sell these films that's already shot. Right. So let's make the best of Matt Reeves' Batman, Man of Tomorrow. Let's see what it does. But the pressure's on Man of Tomorrow. Again, they don't want repeat business. If it comes out and does 600 million again, Gunn is done. Right. If it gets closer to 800 million, then he may buy himself another film. But I think Paramount's going to change the course no matter what. I think they're going to, no matter what. No, for sure. And just to answer the question here, we talked about this a bit. We both believe, again, this is I guess you could say Zack Snyder and party
those that are acquainted knowing what's coming. So I believe when you're seeing Joe Manganiello tease his Deathstroke, it's him again just reminding Paramount and said Cheryl, everybody that's involved in making decisions here, that this is still what people want. People are still interested in this.
What was the quote that Joe Manganiello put in his post?
Oh,
come on,
right.
That's why I keep saying, you Snyder fans out there, if y'all are around during the release of Snyder Cut days, y'all know what's going on right now. Manganiello said, you better not be wasting my time.
You better not be wasting my time.
Come on now.
Dude, come on. And look, when we say Deathstroke post, hold on, let me just show this right quick. Because he went hard. It's not like it wasn't just one post. He did a few. So just to show you.
And that's probably the most engagement he gets is when it's his DC character.
So he did a few there. And actually,
he posted the whole scene. He posted the nightmare.
How many more?
Oh, bro.
Come on.
This is someone. Okay, this man is an actor. Okay. So if I'm pumping a role continuously, I'm campaigning. That's what this is on social media. He's saying he had to talk to Zach. And Zach's like, oh, yeah, you're pumping. Gal Gadot just did this a month ago. Yeah, go and pump Wonder Woman some more.
Dude.
This is what he's doing.
Exactly.
So, in conjunction with what Zach's doing.
In conjunction with what Zach's doing. That's the point. You know,
he has no other reason to do that. He has no other reason. Oh, let me just think back to my Deathstroke role. This man is a working actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, he got gigs.
I'm gonna jump back to this. Why? People got to start asking themselves why.
Exactly.
Again, long-term Snyder fans, y'all know what's going down. This is the most we've ever gotten before an announcement. We went off of less in 2019. Who's going off of less in 2021 and 2022?
Right.
Like, this is the most Zach has ever been active and the people connected to him. Larry Fong, one of his cinematographers, he's been very active. So it just, bro, something's happening behind the scenes. We know it. We know it.
No, for sure. For sure. It's not there's no doubt in my mind. Low key, I think I tweaked. I think I thought it was his page, but I think that was like a bunch of people just posting his stuff.
That's wild. Yeah. But he has posted the scene, and he has that picture that a lot of people were showing, like an artist rendition of his Deathstroke. And I know that's doing numbers like crazy on Instagram.
Carlos says, can there be a world where Paramount makes a Crisis film to the Snyderverse? I mean, I don't see why not. You know,
Paramount? I mean, I don't think they have to, but
they don't have to. That's for sure.
Like what Zach said today on that interview, he's like, my stuff is separate. He's like, yeah, I respect James Gunn. You know, I know some people didn't like him saying respect to James Gunn, but he's like, my stuff is so different. Like, it won't interfere with nothing. I thought that was the biggest key that Zach said today on that interview. If you haven't watched it yet,
right?
With Josh Horowitz. That's the guy when Henry Cavill said, I'm back as Superman. He went to that guy to interview him. But Zach said, my stuff is so different. That's how Zach has always been on that. So you Gunn fans, you don't got to be afraid of Zack Snyder. Like, he's saying my stuff is Elseworlds. He's telling you this. Right. He's not, so restore the Snyderverse doesn't mean you got to cancel Gunn. I mean, okay, if you don't like him, that's cool. He's a goofy dude. Right. So I get it. But you don't need Gunn to fail for Zach to do more DC. That's my only point. Yeah. That's my only 100%. Point with that. Now, if Gunn fails by himself, then okay, that's a whole nother joke, So yeah.
Let's see. Beth also spoke about it on the red carpet. That's also true. Everyone knows what's going on except
I'm just I don't again the Saudi connection should be the easiest thing for everyone to see.
Actually, thank you for bringing this up, Raven. They mentioned this a few comments ago about Air's connection to Paramount. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing. If you want the Air cut, Paramount's again another reason why you want Paramount. I think I find it that they would actually release the air cut. I think they would do it because they have Paramount Plus. If they're trying to do something similar to HBO Max, like okay, maybe we don't want to do a theater release for, although I would prefer to see it in theaters personally, but there's at least that, you know.
So I heard this while the bidding was happening a couple months ago with Paramount, you know, trying to get Warner Brothers and everything that went on with that, is that Paramount's idea of their app, Paramount Plus, is that they want to integrate HBO Max, different from what Netflix. Netflix was saying, HBO, we will own you, but you'll stay over there.
Right.
You HBO, we may think of some bundling idea. Paramount, what I heard is that they want to fully integrate into a super app is the term that was used. They want a HBO Paramount super app. And when you do that, you want content.
Yeah.
It's all about IPs.
Yeah.
I think Paramount could be in a very interesting situation when they come into the building. Let's say it's the beginning of 2027.
Okay.
And you want to, if you want to phase from Gunn, whatever you want to do, you just need content. So I think you get the air cut, just put it on streaming, the Schumacher cut, you know, put ZSJL in IMAX or theaters, like a short run or whatever. It's about content until you figure out what you want to do for DC, right? Because I think DC is going to be kind of in a little limbo period when Paramount comes in there, because I don't think Gunn, and I haven't said this before yet. I'll say this on the Chop Shop. I don't think Gunn has an 8-year, 10-year plan. I don't think he does.
Right.
I think when he was making Superman, it was intended to be like a 10-year buildup. And then my story I put out there in 2022, 23 was Zaslav made him put all the Justice Gang and everything into his Superman film.
Right.
Because it's a showcase of DC.
Right.
Meaning you're not gonna have 8 to 10 years. You just need to show what you need to show.
Right.
And we can sell this.
That's right.
So James Gunn has served his purpose. If this Paramount deal goes through, James Gunn was the bridge guy. And so it's about time to figure out what's the next, version of this DC. If Man of Tomorrow does great, Gunn will get one more film to finish off his Superman saga, and that'll be it. If Man of Tomorrow bombs, then it's over. Then it's over right there.
Yeah, no, for sure. And look, again, I like you said, I'm sure there's people here that they love what Gunn is doing.
There's some.
That's fine. That's fine. Like honestly, it is
glazing hard. No. It's
fine,
watchable
man.
to me. Again, I'm probably the nicest guy about this, but it's watchable. But
the point that I want to make here is that, like you said, and it's something you said earlier, it's just when Zach says his thing is different, it's not just to say like it's separate. It's that by definition, his way of storytelling is different. The things he sees, the things he's trying to portray, they're just different. And you can't just take something else and mix it into that world, because it's a whole different world. And again, aesthetically, like just the details he's putting into the film, everything matters. Everything's something. It's not. No director does this. And look, Zach's a nice guy. You can watch the interview. He gives his flowers to Gunn. He's gonna do that. He's a nice guy. But sorry, like nothing that Gunn has done is remotely close to what Zach has done. And that's actually a lot of directors, if I'm being honest. But when it comes to DC, it doesn't even come close. And it's just Zach's perspective of DC is just different. I will offer you guys this too. In my opinion, and I've said this before, is that what separates, and not even what Zach just did, even Nolan. We have to always throw Nolan here because he's the blueprint, really, when it comes to what followed, right? It's this, how much can you ground these characters to a real world? That's the blueprint. Nolan did that like flawlessly with Batman. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Zach's challenge was, how can I do that with a more fictional character? And what he decides to do is, let me take the aspects of this character that ring true to our reality, you know? And what do I mean by that? A lot of you guys don't like to admit it, you know, but I hate to burst your bubble. And Zach said it best, and I might just play that part of the clip so you guys can finally bite that bullet. But the reality is there are connective tissues between the way Superman's story is told and what it's actually mirroring, for that matter. Certain elements of his story. I'm not going to say his entire story. Right? A lot of it's fictional. But certain elements of his story are very much that of the savior. All right. And he dives deep into that because that's really the only aspect of Superman that is true to the human experience, is my whole point. Like, that's methodically chosen, is my whole point. He methodically chooses that, right? Like, this is the one thing about Superman in his canon, in his storyline, and not the only thing. Let me just clarify. It's not the only thing, but it's a major part to what connects him to, like, the real world, like what we can identify. You know, it's that savior complex that he has, right? Which is why that's part of the dialogue and the narrative in BVS. You know, this God figure, this savior figure, like, maybe he's not that. Maybe he's just this guy trying to do the right thing. Whatever, you know, all that conversation, you know, but not even that, even Man of Steel, right? Where she's like, he'll be a freak, he'll be an outcast. And he's like, no, he'll be a god. You know what I'm saying? Like, the elements are set, you know, the seeds are sown, whatever, throughout the dialogue. And there are other aspects too, right? It's his character of being raised by his, you know, mom, pa, Kent, whatever, the lessons he learns from his father, Jonathan, his relationship with his mother, Martha, whatever, all that stuff. But that part in itself, and I just feel it's important because a lot of people don't like to admit it, you know, and I get it. Maybe you're not down with Christ. I don't know. Maybe you don't like the idea of religion or whatever, all that in your stuff. But I'm just gonna play with. Let me stop talking. I'm gonna let Zach do the talking right quick, and I'll let him tell you guys how it is. You know what I'm saying? How it is. Let's see.
We also knew that because it was a birth and resurrection story, obviously we're not lowering him off the cross by accident. You know, this is not like the Jesus metaphors are not like, oh, that they really went vaguely with that. That was like, really, I don't know. Yeah, you know, it's a real reach, you know, to kind of say that's what's happening. I just felt like that was an important, mythological touchstone, that if you were avoiding that, you were sort of avoiding the why a little bit of Superman. You were kind of like, you were kowtowing to some sort of like, I don't know what, public pressure or like non-commercialization. I don't know what, but you're pussy, not really. Let's be honest.
You said, we're going to go. Yeah.
100. But by the way, it's the why I thought it was cool. Like why I thought it was interesting. Because like it's.
All right. I'll leave that there.
Man, like that's Superman. Like just that concept right there.
Right.
I would have taken just 1 second of that in James Gunn's Superman. You know, just that mythological type of like Gunn. And again, Gunn makes the films how he wants to make it, and he wants to relate. He wants you to relate so hardcore. We want DCs that are they're gods, DC characters,
right?
And that's literally what Zach was doing,
right,
with Superman.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I'm using that. there's like many references of that kind of nature, right? Like the philosophical part that he sees, the mythological parts of how he views DC. This is what separates him from. That's what separates what he did with DC characters to what Gunn did with DC characters, you know, and frankly, what any other creative house is doing with any of their comic book characters. You know what I mean? That's what makes it special, you know, and unique and different. And not to say again, and it's not like he's doing anything new, but it's just that he's not afraid to tap into that which it seems that everybody else is trying to shy away from, you know. And again, I just use that clip as the one aspect of that, right? The whole Christ part aspect. But the reality is it's the other things too. It's the, you know, he's not afraid to deconstruct these characters in the same way Frank Miller would, you know, where most people are afraid to. Or as he points out again in that same interview, which I would recommend you guys check it out if you haven't seen it. And that's that. What do you want? A movie that's made by committee, that all these focus parties and, you know, people that tell you what they should have not put in the movie, whatever that like, or would you rather just have the raw thing, what the vision is of the director, you know? And that's what he brings to the table. You know what I mean? And look, he said in other interviews, he's compromised here and there. Obviously you have to, right? He, in the same interview, he said he had to compromise for the IMAX experience when it came to Watchmen, you know? So, but you know, again, it's that's what Zach brings to the table. That's what I want to point out with that. We're talking about the kind of movie, the kind of storytelling he brings. It's these attention to details that matter to him, that as a viewer matter to me, and that I could appreciate. You know, that, like you said, I wish I would have seen a hint of that kind of thing in the James Gunn Superman, but you don't. And that was, you know, I don't know if it was you. No, yeah, in our discussion, that was one of my problems with it. It's like, look, this is who Superman's supposed to be. Period. Like, you know, I'm not saying that's exactly who he is. I'm just saying that's who he embodies, whether you like it or not. It's just right. Factor of the fabric of the character. You know, so when you have him acting more petty and human like us, you know what I'm saying, rather than someone with a higher standard, someone with a higher calling, someone with a higher purpose, then you're missing the truth about Superman. You're missing a truth about Superman, I would say, you know? Yeah. Let's see. Peter says Daniel Craig and Henry was going to be in Man of Tomorrow. That would have been the old 007 to the potential new 007 in one movie. Gunn fucked that up. So Zach sunk his Superman with his IG. I mean, hey, that could be that's a bad point. You know, like again, there was a lot of hype around Zach's IG rather than a lot of this Man of Tomorrow talk. Like, that's just facts.
That's crazy.
James Gunn's DC is for children. Zack Snyder's DC is for grown-ups. That's a big argument between studios. Possibly so, for sure. But I also feel like I think that's true when you're talking maybe something like Watchmen. You know, that's for sure a grown-up. Like you know, you better think twice about what child you're showing that to or what age they're at. When it comes to like Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, yeah, the story is it's for the grown-up mind, so to speak, but it's not like it's so crazy that a child can't understand. You know, there's many movies as a child I was shown that were for sure probably, you know, to the day and age wouldn't be considered like a child's film, you know, but I went and saw it. Like my parents allowed me to see it, and I was fine. I understood, you know, certain things, you know what I'm saying? Like even the most craziest movie, like Terminator 2, you know, that's probably this movie a kid shouldn't watch, but I watched it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
I was fine, you know what I'm saying?
I was scarred for life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was like, oh my gosh, robot. You know what I'm saying? No, like it was cool, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. And then so visually it was cool. And then looking back on it as an adult, you know, when you go watch it back, the rerun of it, you actually appreciate it even more because there's like a lot of cuts, and I don't know if I ever got into a discussion with you, but man, there's a lot of cuts in that Terminator film, that first one too, that is like full circle, like holy cow, it's like kind of like they were kind of prophesying, you know, where artificial intelligence was going to start.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever got into that discussion with you, but yeah, if you go watch that original Terminator.
I'm about to rewatch that just to
dude. They
pick up on it.
There's that scene under the bridge, you know, with John Connor and Sarah Connor, whatever. And she like asks him about the future, like why did he have to come back or whatever? What happens? Like what goes wrong? And I'm paraphrasing at this point, but it's something like along the lines like around the year 2027, or no, years 2020 to the year 2027. Artificial intelligence and cybernetics, blah, 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 start advancing so much, whatever, blah, blah, like, and it's like, and I'm watching them like, holy cow, like that
that's
really
crazy.
is the rise of AI.
That's like the real.
You know what I mean?
That's wild.
So, you know, but anyways, let's. I gotta kind of wrap this up. So, you know what? Cool. We both got. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up, brother. Bro, I appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Always a great conversation with you. Definitely let me know when we can do this again. Obviously, I'm always available for when you need me to.
For sure.
On your way.
We got a lot to talk about. If this Paramount thing, you know, if everything goes like it's supposed to go, it's gonna be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, for sure, bro. But again, appreciate you, bro. For those who didn't, I guess, or came in late, make sure you rewatch it. There's a lot that we discuss. Appreciate you guys that did tune in. Those that were engaging with us in the comment section. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell. Make sure to follow us on any of the platforms that you might be watching from. Again, whether you agree or disagree, it's always welcome here. Put it in the comments. Let me know. And we'll discuss it in a later video, all right? That being said, much love. Peace out, guys. God bless. One love, man. And wait. Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. We're out of here.
I want you to stand up tall and proud. I want you to speak up clear and loud. Brown baby.
Pensando cómo lo puedo lograr, en cómo lo puedo hacer, cómo cuido a mi mamá y también a mi bebé. Solo tengo que josear y eso ya me lo sé. Hay días que despierto sin ánimo, pero me tengo que motivar, que nadie te va a ayudar, que no lo voy a lograr. Eso dicen los demás, pa'l carajo los demás, que aquí pues se les va a enseñar. Aquí les caigo y les traigo un talento que lo dejan bien pálido. Se sorprendieron, algunos dijeron que estos son pa' los que sí tienen talento. De verdad, se jodió todo porque yo nunca voy a parar de josear. Ya, pero un día, ojalá yo con ganar doble A. Dile a Mike Cabe que me tire para hacer un collab. Sin pijama, Nati, que me invite a la casa. Ojalá, ojalá. Ja, ja. Te era algo para sentirme fiebre. El meme. Ahora dejo que el divino Vega que lo parta. Vega.
From the past to the present to the future, been fucking the game up, different angles, Kama Sutra. From handguns to machine guns, flamethrowers to bazookas, goes down in these streets to inside your computer. Your streets made of tears, Reese's fans like Medusa. Y'all crying in the comment section, shout out Brett Cooper. We're champions, you're cheaters, we're winners, you're losers. When I take off, I'm gone, if you don't keep up, I'll lose ya. I've been contemplating and changing my name to Il Divino. What is that? Italiano, Latino, Boston born, Chicago raised. My roots are in Puerto Rico, y la Boricua, and I'm the last cacique de lo taíno. I've descended from Rex to Regal. Say it's my ego, see how fast you get introduced to my desert eagle. See, nice as Galito, but I know my rights, I'm keeping it legal. once you level up, gotta watch how they treat you. Fauci, ouchie, I'm afraid of no needle, but don't lie, if you a man of the people. See, I can allow you to see me, but I am not see the transparent and honest for you to know that I speak truth, while others be deceitful. A bunch of these clucks now remind me of Smeagol. Whenever your vice can lead you to evil, no cap, I am no saint, but I will not deceive you, never mislead you. Don't ever get it twisted though, I do not need you. See, like Batman, I work best alone. I stayed loaded like Rambo, Sylvester Stallone. It's nothing when I'm gone, man, easy phone home. It's just like Jay-Z and Kanye, return to the throne. It's the rise of the empire, attacking the clones. While everyone's sheep now, I am the goat. I believe in myself now, if nobody won't. There's no need to lie, cause I know that you don't. I just hope you got my rise of the empire, attack of the clones line. You know, as the empire rises, we're witnessing the fall of the republic. Everybody that just follows suit is a bunch of sheep, just like the clones doing what they told. Just know who Palpatine is though, you know? Shout out Joey B. From Chicago to Boston, Midwest to the East Coast, and this island in the Caribbean known as Puerto Rico is why the bars are lethal. Got me going beast mode in this game called life. You better know some cheat codes. Il Divino's back, someone let the streets know. 6 shots for the folks and 5 shots for my peoples. I think it's high time we all have a sit down. Can we all agree the game is gone to shit now? Like the fall of Rome, the death of Romulus, history repeating itself if you know it's obvious. If you had your head inside of a book instead of binoculars, you'd be able to see without a pair of binoculars. Our tax dollars being spent towards the damn omnibus, but the rich stay rich, commoners remain commoners. The tentacles and everything like a damn octopus. Mass media, mass hysteria, how they control the populace. Cash rules everything around me, and on every dollar bill it's printed in God we trust. Yeah, everyone lives in fear around me. The truth will set you free. Quick shout out to Elon Musk. Cash rules everything around me, and on every dollar bill it's printed in God we trust. Yeah, everyone lives in fear around me. The truth will set you free. Quick shout out to Elon Musk. Living in this shy, can't let them catch me snoozing. Dudes be shooting just for the amusement. I refuse to be a victim, never be a loose end. When your city is a war zone, who gives a fuck about Putin? And there ain't nothing safe about the safety act. There's more safety in being strapped. They should choose you, shoot back. Those odds are better than getting caught laying on your back. Don't believe me, check the stats. I'm just bringing you the facts. With my hand on the Bible, I swear to rap the truth. My mighty God, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. My people perish for lack of knowledge. My knowledge I share with you. There's nothing we can't accomplish. One head ain't better than two. That's the purpose of a democratic republic. Discussion on every subject, in truth, logic, and reason, till we reach an agreement. A nation under God is how the states united. Got out of the picture, look how gradually we divided. Cash rules everything around me, and on every dollar bill it's printed in God we trust. Yeah, everyone lives in fear around me. The truth will set you free. Quick shout out to Elon Musk. Cash rules everything around me, and on every dollar bill it's printed in God we trust. Yeah, everyone lives in fear around me. The truth will set you free. Quick shout out to Elon Musk.
Arrogance is the primary ingredient that will make you assume you can take action without God. Arrogance. That's actually what it is. You think you got this, and you